Natural 20 Proof channel, where we build, create, and paint characters, creatures, environments, and entire worlds for Dungeons and Dragons or any other tabletop role-playing game out there. I'm your host and aspiring erotic Foley artist, Garrett Robinson, and with me today is another member of the Natural 20 Proof channel, Aengus McMillin. What's up, dude?
Hey, Garrett. So, yeah, today I'm here for the first time. Oh.
Thanks for the follow, Ventricio. Hi.
Sweet. So I'm basically here to talk tech. I'm kind of trying to take the lead on the Not 20 Proof full game streams coming up. So I'm going to be the guy behind the scenes messing with OBS and hopefully keeping the stream running smoothly from the tech side. I'm here today to learn how to paint minis because I've never really done this before.
This is your first mini ever.
Basically, yeah. I can't think of any others I've done. So,
nice.
Yeah, this will be a first time for me. So I have here my character for, I guess we can, in a little bit,
I can pop into, we'll do a close-up when we pop into the more close-up side of things, but yeah.
Yeah, so basically this is my character in a game we're running right now. He's a half-orc rogue who steals basically nothing but food. So I'm pretty happy with the way this model turned out, so I'm really excited to paint it and see how it turns out.
Here, why don't you actually scoot your chair in a little bit closer? We'll both kind of get right up on that microphone for you there.
Sure, hopefully that's good.
Yeah, cool. So as you mentioned, Aengus is basically the technical director of the whole show. So he's going to be our tech guy behind the scenes, running switching between the cameras and different views when we're playing the actual D&D game stream. And I shanghaied him onto the show. So let's paint your first miniature ever.
Yeah, sounds good.
I love indoctrinating noobs. Here, now that we have a close-up, we can bring Eldunk in here. Eldunk had a good time this week. Get that full close-up, and then we can get the... So he's obviously primered black right now, so details are going to be a little hard to make out.
Yeah.
But you can see him holding up...
Basically a turkey leg.
Going
in for the bite.
Big old chunk of poultry right there.
And his double-sized paring knife.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his +1 paring knife.
Yep.
He's great. Eldunk has been such a great addition to the party. I like him so much.
I've been quite enjoying playing him as well, so excited to bring him to life as a little bitty mini.
So, the general tack that I suggest people take when they are painting, especially like newer and getting into it, is that so I always try to paint from the inside out.
Okay.
So I try to paint the deepest parts of the model first, because if you're looking at like Helri, right? If I were to paint her cloak and then paint her skin, then my paintbrush is physically going past the cloak loaded up with green to get her skin, and so there's a much greater chance of accidentally messing up what's on the outside.
Right.
So for most characters, what that means is the skin. You want to start with the skin, and that's probably a good place to start on Eldunk, particularly since he doesn't have too much exposed skin.
Yeah.
So it'll be pretty fast. So do you want to go for like a more classic orky green or like a grayish green?
So yeah, I was thinking
do you have
kind
references?
Of grayish green. Yeah, I really liked this picture from D&D Beyond, so I'm thinking of that kind of grayish, slightly blue tint green.
Nice. Okay. So you generally, I generally recommend that you start with the sort of like the darkest color that you're that color is going to have, and then work your way lighter and lighter.
Okay.
So for this, on the darker recesses of his body, I'm going to suggest that you start with... This is probably a good starting point. Deco Art, Dark Gray 3. And then grab yourself a little bit of this and just mix. That's pretty darkish green, yeah. And then mix in a little bit of that until you're happy with the slight tinge of green.
Right. Okay.
So go ahead. You can just like choose any spot there. Don't worry about what's underneath, because it's not gonna get involved in what's going on.
Oh yeah, and actually, just quick technical note: did we set it so that these will record on Twitch? Or should we do that for this
It should record on Twitch, but you know what? we're recording now too.
Cool.
Hi, recording VOD later on YouTube. That didn't. Yeah, I didn't hit that button, so that's cool. I have quite a task ahead of me today. I am going to be painting Helri's tattoos. Now, I will be 100% honest with you. When I was painting Helri and starting with her skin, I forgot that I had given her tattoos. And then I got back some early character art from the artist I hired. And those tattoos that I sent in as references, they were right on there, on that character art. And I was like, oh, well, you know what I forgot? That's fine. It doesn't really... It doesn't affect all the painting that I did on her skin, because I would have had to do that anyway before the tattoos. It just means that I need to be very careful now as I'm painting them on, not to mess up anything else that I've painted since the skin. But that's okay. And as for me, for my tattoos, I will be going black, because she just has monocolor sort of pattern tattoos rather than like any sort of multicolored shenanigans. And I will pull up the reference image that I have in here somewhere.
So the basic way to do this is just pick one of these spots, pour a bit of paint in, pour the other one in, and use a wetted brush.
Yeah, so a slightly wetted brush. You don't want to pour the two paints directly on top of each other. You pour them next to each other, and then you sort of like brush them in towards each other until you've got a good color that you like.
That makes sense.
Where is my reference on those tattoos? Oh, I know where I posted it. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Yo.
Let's go with this guy.
So this is the reference that I sent to the artist. I just think it's a really cool tattoo pattern. It's also very complicated, and like, you know, just speaking honestly, it's not going to look that complicated when it's on Helri. I just don't have the skill or frankly the patience to paint that level of detail, but I'm going for that same sort of feel on her. So we're going to take a little bit of my Abyssal Black, squirt it out here.
Oh, should I have been doing that on something else, or is this fine?
No, that's perfect. Yeah, okay. I'm using the wet palette because I
right.
The advantage of the wet palette is that it keeps your paint wet longer, which enables you to take a break and then come back. You can even come back the next day, and your paint hasn't dried out really at all. Is a bit drier than I normally like it to be, but it's fine. We need a detail brush, so we're gonna go for a little guy here. Where's my favorite little guy? Where are you? I think it's you. Oh yeah, that should do us very nicely. I'll use you to mix in a little bit of water because this brand of paint is very thick. And we want it just a little bit more easy to work with. Okay. Oh, shoot. You know what else I forgot? To Muzak.
Ooh. Oh, also, could you post to the Discord?
I can do that. Ba-ba-ba.
It's getting there. Actually, that's pretty close. Maybe a touch more of the gray.
twitch.tv/net20proof. in now. Boom. Okay, let's see if we can get our music going here.
I think that'll do the trick. I'm gonna give that a try now.
Okay. Yeah, just get right in there.
Cool. Just want the hands, the face, and the neck, basically. Oh, Jesus. I've already marked the turkey leg.
Well, that's fine, because
Yeah, 'cause I'll be doing
this
more
is
of that,
when
so-
you want to spill, when nothing else has actually been painted.
Yep.
Hey, what's up, Bridget?
Hey, Bridget.
Yes, he did mention the wonders of the half-orc Eldunk, for sure. This was definitely brought up. Where is the speakers? There we go. Connect. Connect. 8, there we go.
Que le puedo gastar.
That should work. Okay.
I can already tell this is something where I'm just gonna have to not be too precious about it. Just know that it's gonna get kind of on a lot of things, but then over time it'll start to be just where it needs to be.
Yeah, that's definitely, I definitely hold to the philosophy, and actually pretty much anything creative that I do, that it's better to do many, many passes, going over it and over it and over it again.
Rather than trying to worry right off the bat about, oh, it must be perfect.
Exactly, rather than trying to make it perfect at the first go. And for me, that's for my writing, that's for everything, you know?
Yep. Makes sense. Come on, hands. I think that's a decently orcish color. What do you think?
I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, and then the other thing too is that honestly, if somebody's going to be painting a lot, then my general recommendation is that they actually start on like paint a whole troop of orcs and really of just like generic orc minions, and really don't try not to worry about it too much at all, because it just gets you familiar with having the brush in your hand and the paint moving across the miniature and everything like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's totally cool to just like have your first miniature be your player character, and then you've got a mini that you painted, and you can play him whenever you want.
No, I'm like super excited to bring this guy to the session this week and actually get to have me there.
Exactly. Okay, so we're going to start with a long spiral that's going to go all the way around the arm. Oh, interesting.
Needs the skin color.
Oof. So nerve-wracking. Honestly, I rarely paint intricate designs like these. But the thing is that with Helri's nature, she is a very showboaty kind of individual. And so it made sense to me that she, at one point, would have gotten herself some pretty badass tattoos to, like, enhance that side of herself. And then I'll have them just wrap in a sort of bracelet design around her wrist here.
Ooh. Really excited to see how that turns out.
Yeah, I am excited, is a word. This is probably the most intricate paint job I've ever actually done. I'm a very, honestly, simplistic kind of painter.
Okay, I think that would be
I actually don't like the dark gray.
just to get a little bit.
She is really an absolute unit. You are correct.
Okay, so if I were to start on some kind of deep brown leather look, what would you recommend?
Well,
Because I think that's a good next step.
before you do that, I would actually recommend going in for at least a little bit of highlighting on the skin. Now, there's a couple ways to do it. The more intricate way is to go for a sort of is to literally paint each level of highlights on. So like that's what I do for my player characters. But the easier one is just dry brushing.
Okay.
And so what that does is you take most of the paint off of your brush, and then you just sort of lightly brush it over the mini, and it only hits the higher parts. So if we were to do this, let's take a much lighter gray. We'll take this gray value 6, and we'll spurt a little bit of that right here. Come on. So we take a lighter gray. We take and I'll actually try to get this on the camera.
Yeah, so I'm kind of doing this chunk of it right there. I just didn't mix it quite in the middle, just sort of
Totally
offset.
fine. So we'll grab this area right here.
Yeah, a little more up the side of it, kind of, but yeah.
Right here?
Right around there, yeah.
Okay, so we'll get some of that. Put that in here. And we're going for a gray highlight rather than more green because just because it's going to, sort of highlight it a bit. Oh, that's probably too much. It's all right. We scoop a little bit more out of here. Mix it in there liberally. Okay, that's good. Now it's still a little extreme, but on a dry brush, that's actually what you want.
Right.
So done with this guy for now. So on a dry brush, you want a much stiffer bristled brush, which is what this is. And then you literally take it, you stick it right in your paint, get as much of it on there as you possibly can. And then you rub most of it off until it's barely leaving a mark on the paper anymore.
Right.
And then you just take it. You do this sort of thing.
Ooh, right. Oh yeah, may not have it locked in there quite well enough.
There we go.
Ah, I see.
And did that go... He's not wearing gloves, those are his hands?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's kind of what I'm thinking. Give a little more of that orky vibe across it.
Good. Actually, we could go even further here. It's not producing too remarkable of an effect, so we'll grab some more of this in here.
And it already gotten a slightly greener tint than I was thinking originally, so a little bit heavier on the gray is probably fine too.
Yep. Now we've definitely put a lot on the brush, so we want to get a lot off.
Yeah.
And we'll just go
And you usually try and actually paint like eyes and things like that, or?
I do. A lot of people choose not to, and neither one is, you know, like it. That's totally fine.
Right.
If you want, I can give him the eye treatment, or you can take a crack at it, whichever is preferable to you.
I think I may end up leaving the eyes as is, but I will try and get the tusks. If I can do just a touch of white there,
Perfect.
I think that could be really cool.
I'll give you actually sort of a bone color when it comes to that.
Nice.
So there you can see there's a little bit of highlighting going on the face.
Yeah.
Now, I would love to challenge you to go in with that gray on an actual very small paintbrush like this guy right here and hit just the tops of the ears.
Ooh, okay.
And the nose, and probably that's it. And that's gonna make his whole face just like stick out when somebody's looking at him from the table.
Nice.
So if you're feeling up to, you don't have to, but if you're feeling up to it, maybe try giving that a shot.
There will also be a lot more black on here. I ended up painting the beard, but mostly out of necessity. I'll be redoing a lot of that in black.
Right.
Eventually. So yeah, so tops of the ears and the nose. Okay. Cool. Like this dude maybe would be good. And still dry brushing?
No.
Or-
Like with a very fine detail brush like this, and so you wet it to get like the point very fine. And so if you look in here, you can see that there's a very, very slight highlight just on the edges of her ears and right down the ridge of her nose.
Right.
So just go in and add that, and it'll make the whole thing. Because when you're not dry brushing it, it's going to get the full, maybe not the full. Mix a little bit more of that color up, and then get that in there.
Yeah.
All right, where's my reference? Oh boy, this is gonna be exciting.
More green. Okay. Yeah, that's, I think, doing the trick.
How'd it come out?
I think it got added at least a little bit there. It's not super noticeable, but a little bit.
And you
of
don't
a
want
pop.
it to be. You just want it to be like a little highlight there.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Cool.
Sweet. All right, so yeah, if you want to go in for that dark brown for leather and whatnot, that is not a bad next step.
Because I figured the beard is probably going to be something that gets a little bit on those other layers, so probably best to do leather next, and then beard is kind of a more later highlight.
Mm-hmm.
Melted chocolate.
Boy, that pattern is really interesting.
Wondering, I might try and take like something like melted chocolate or this Maybe with this burnt umber light, just to give it a little bit of a reddish tinge.
Nice.
Yeah, let me try that. No idea if there's a standard for leather or not, but...
Well, it depends on the leather. You know, there's black leather and everything.
Considering I've got the black beard, I'd like to have some other piece of contrast there, so...
For sure.
I'm thinking probably doing, like, a deep brown for that, and then I'll have other leathers for, like... The pouches on the belt are probably going to be a light brown, as will the backpack, and then the bow will be an even lighter brown still, is what I'm thinking.
Very nice.
So kind of tiered coloring there. Might be doing a little too much of that.
It's not looking too bad. It's going to need some highlights to really make the details pop. But in general, she looks like she's got tattoo sleeves, which is about as good as I think I can expect to make her look. Oh, it's worth mentioning, by the way, we forgot to, or didn't forget, but haven't gotten a chance to talk about this yet. We did a full AV setup test of the game stream the other day. Full, not quite full because we didn't have the table, but all of the AV was there, and I got pretty stoked.
Yeah, same. I'm really excited. I think this is going to go quite well, and yeah, I'm really stoked. We basically did full tech setup. We were there probably like 6 hours, 7 hours total. It took about 3 hours setting everything up, figuring out positioning for things, figuring out what all we had and how it was going to be configured, but I'm thinking we're set well enough that it should go up pretty easily next time. So
yep.
Comparatively.
Especially now that we kind of like, just doing it teaches you so many things that the next time you're like, okay, I remember we're not going to do that again because blah, 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 and like, you know.
Yeah.
And the sequence of doing it all.
So I feel like I need an ever so tiny dollop of like black because it's a nice brown, but it kind of feels like a little tinge darker could be nice.
Well, I'll tell you what I think you should do. I think you should highlight it up and then wash it down. So the opposite technique to dry brushing is washing, and that's when you take a really dark ink or darker colored paint, but you really water it down, and you just paint it liberally, and it sinks into the whole thing, and it darkens everything.
Okay.
Right?
So basically providing a layer of almost like dirt and shadow over all of it.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
It's the opposite, again, opposite effect of dry brushing.
Yeah, because that feels like definitely what needs to happen in here. This would be what it would look like all fresh and clean, but...
Eldunk's never been fresh and clean. Come on.
Yeah, I'm going to need to figure out if I'm going to add like food scraps painted on even, but probably would get into that, but he very much would have those.
sure I like this black paint. I need to grab my preferred black paint. Different brands, it's amazing what a difference they can make. I'm going to switch over to Citadel here. Citadel is, Games Workshop.
Yep.
Citadel is the paint brand of Games Workshop. And listen, I'm the first to admit, they're expensive. They're really expensive. They're expensive as all hell. There is a reason they are that expensive. And it is because they're so good. They're just so nice and easy to use and work with. Oh no. Oh no.
What happened?
No. I left Helri in the paint holder since last we were here. And her base is all bent.
Oh no. That's unfortunate.
I didn't even think about that. This is the first time I've ever had a mini holder for painting. Well, she's gonna be a wobbly girl.
Could you possibly put her in the mini holder the 90-degree rotated way and actually just kind of correct it?
Maybe
It might just make it worse, but
might make it worse. Let me give it a shot though.
oh, I just painted the mini holder. Let me go in there. Try and wipe that off a little before it dries. Okay.
That may actually help. Here's hoping.
Cool.
And I will remember to take her the fuck out tonight.
Or
Hey, Harry's here.
hey, Harry.
And then we got a little triangle in there. Alright, now we're going to go with a pretty stark gray highlight on a few of these tattoos just to get the thing. What's frozen? Lydia? Stream's frozen? No. We're not even getting dropped frames.
I'm not frozen here.
Just laggy?
Just huh. Wonder if that's us.
Oh, we have a request for Eldunk progress. One sec. I'm just gonna see if the stream appears to be lagging on my phone. Progress. One sec. I'm just gonna see if the stream appears to be lagging on my. Oh, it is dropping frames. That's so weird.
Huh. That's not great.
No. Trying to create some on-camera motion to see how it's. It is dropping frames. That's so weird. Huh. Oh, there you go. All right, let's see some Eldunk here.
Okay, just a lot of brown added, so
Such a rogue.
yeah, progress is being made.
What a rogue
a
he
little bit
is.
slowly, but actually, I don't know if it's slowly. I have no idea what the standard is here.
Well, I've been painting Helri for 3 shows in a row, so I think you're doing fine.
Cool.
We have 2 fines and a laggy, so we're gonna soldier bravely onward.
Sounds good to me.
Well, you know what sounds so wonderful in the not too distant future?
What's that?
The end of this heat wave and doing this
Yeah.
show in a nice, cool garage.
Yeah, no, that'll be quite pleasant. Generally, I'm not a fan of the heat, and I'm really looking forward to fall. Sadly, that's still going to be a couple months out, but
Yeah.
at least if August can be semi-pleasant.
Just chilling a little bit. Just
Yeah.
chilling out just a little bit.
Doesn't need much. I'm
Yeah.
not asking for much. Just like 5 to 10 degrees less would be great.
We're not asking you to be chill. We're just asking you to have some chill.
Yeah.
August. If you could just comply, August, that would be wonderful. So the perfect thing about this gray for the tattoos is that it has a slightly greenish tinge to it, which is complementing Helri's skin tone very nicely.
Ooh.
You don't watch, or no, you do watch Critical Role, or do
I
you?
do,
I forget.
yes. I've
You up to date?
not quite. I'm finishing up episode 76 of campaign 2, so getting close. Although close in Critical Role land is still like 2 to 3 weeks of watching.
Right.
But
I'll tell you what. This week's episode.
it's good stuff.
Fuck! You know if you've seen it out there in Twitch land.
Oh dear.
It's wow. I mean it's no episode 43, but was it 43 when, the big thing happened?
Well, I remember something big happened in episode 26.
Was it 26? Was it that far back?
If it's what I think you're talking about.
I mean
yeah.
the thing.
Yeah, the big thing.
The biggest thing. Really? That far back?
26. Because I remember, actually, it was kind of funny. The only Critical Role event I've been to was Emerald City Comic Con last, May, or whenever it was, and people in the crowd were mentioning that it had officially been twice as long since, or half
Since it
as
happened.
long since the event as before it. So we're asking people how they felt.
Crazy.
Yeah.
He looks like a light armor Thanos. Oh, I love you very much. That is amazing.
And not entirely wrong.
Right?
Hmm.
It's not wrong about how he looks. It's not very good descriptor of his personality.
No.
I mean, at least that we know about.
Yeah, Eldunk demands far more than 50% of things that he wants.
Eldunk is actually the campaign big bad.
Yeah. It's tricky getting the part leading right up to his gloves and the part around his head. It's like, I don't want to accidentally go over something.
Right? That's the thing. The more you paint, the more careful you have to be with everything else that you paint.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to call that done on her tattoos. Again, the fine details aren't going to impress too many people with a crazy telephoto lens, but she looks like she has tattoo sleeves, and that's about what I'm expecting from her.
Yeah. That's really cool.
And the artwork can be everybody's reference if they really want to know what the intricate details look like.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really expects miniature paintings to be quite canon.
Well,
Well, I'm
there
sure
are
some
some
people
painters out there. I got this friend. He's this crazy gamer, and he's also got like a bit more cash to throw around than most people. And this guy buys miniatures, ships them to his artists in Sweden,
Oh my god.
and they send them to him in this like crazy strict packaging that like protects them from, you know, fucking acts of God. And they look, I mean, it's insane. You can't even believe.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, I need the leather of her belt now. And we'll make it sort of a medium brown here. Anyway, yeah, I love that guy, but also, fuck that guy.
Yeah, making everyone else look bad.
I know, right?
Come on, dude.
And of course, he's the first to say, like, "Oh, I can't paint. Like, this is not, you know." But like, he's not like trying to claim credit for it. But at the same
He's just
time,
also trying to have the best minis at the table.
exactly.
Yeah. Just need to put him in a Cthulhu game, have him just like all of his carefully crafted minis end up dying or going insane.
He'd probably love that. He really loves games. Nope. Out.
Hey, puppy.
Out.
Good dog.
He's a good boy. Yeah, so I guess for these resin printed minis, leaving them in the holder for long periods of time might not be ideal. As a side note, I didn't pick this specifically or even make a decision with this in mind, but I love the way Helri's belt is done. It's not a traditional buckle. It's the thing where it sort of wraps around and goes over and then goes back through the belt itself. And it's like, ever since I saw Aragorn do that in Lord of the Rings, I was like, I want a belt that does that. Where are my browns? Oh, there's my khaki. So we got the base brown done. And we get a little khaki in here. Oof, too much khaki. And we will paint the belt again, leaving the shadowier parts. How's his leather coming out?
It's turning out pretty good. I think I'm nearly done with this base coat, and then it'll just be a matter of moving on to the highlights and like darkening bits.
Nice.
It's getting slower, of course, because it's like don't want to.
Yeah.
A little bit where his neck meets his leathers is finicky. I know there's a little bit of overlap, but it's like, you know, some's okay. It's just gonna have to do. In fact, I think. Now it's just looking for all those little dark bits that I somehow missed.
Yeah, I will say that's the one thing about miniatures primered in black.
Yeah, it's
harder to spot the details you're missing.
Yeah, white's gonna stand out a lot, whereas this is kind of blending in a fair bit,
Yeah.
but still.
But if your final mini is supposed to look darker like a rogue,
Yep.
you should probably always go black. All right, now I have a big decision to make. Now Harry can't get rid of the freeze and frame drops.
Oh no.
Now I have a big decision to make, which is, do I want her legs to have gold trim? And the answer is yes. It wasn't too much deliberation, but here, let me see if I can get a little more warp.
Okay, I think that'll do for that base layer. Wait, is there... Nope, just a touch more. Ugh.
All right, we got our gold, and where's our bronze? Here we go. Oh, yeah, we are getting some dropped frames finally. Oh, well.
Unfortunate. Okay, so what do you think? I guess we can show the stream too, because I think that this is basically it for that base brown on the leathers.
Yeah. That works.
Cool. So now, do you think I should do the other base colors, like on the dagger, the backpack, all that stuff, and then do highlighting from there? Because I have a feeling a lot of it's could do with just being kind of washed out, or whatever that term was.
I would do the highlights for this, then go do the other colors, do their highlights, then do an overall wash.
Okay.
And then you can pick out things if you want to, like the edges of his pauldrons and whatnot.
Yeah. To do like slightly different colors or with general.
Yeah, some people want to. Some people do that in sort of metal, like have a metal banding around the edge.
Yeah. There's definitely some buckles and things that probably could do with being metal. It's probably going to largely come down to what I have time for and the patience for.
Right. And the metal bits you're going to want to do after everything else.
Right. So that was essentially taking something else like... Actually, I might do more of that, just mixing a bit of that gray. Do just a touch of gray with some of this brown. Yeah, that could be a good color for the highlights.
We'll do one more right here.
Can't tell if it's even doing anything.
Oh, are you going for, what are you doing?
I'm trying to do the dry brushing on some of this basically.
So you're going to have problems with that if you don't use a stiffer bristled brush.
Ah, right. Okay.
Yeah. So you're going to want to go for that. And when you're mixing up like brown for a leather, is this what your base was?
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll grab some of this. Do that there, and then we'll actually grab some khaki.
Ooh, okay.
You can also go with yellow, but khaki kind of goes more with the gray that you have established for the skin tone. And so you want a slightly more consistent color palette in general.
Right.
And again, we can go for a pretty sharp contrast between your first coat and what you're dry brushing with.
Okay.
So dry brush with that, and when it looks, remember to wipe most of it off on your towel. And when it looks stark, remember that the wash is going to do a lot to even it out.
Right.
Because fair warning, it will look pretty stark. It's going to look so stark, you're going to think winter is coming. What?
Oh dear.
Oh boy.
something.
Oh my god, you know, I just realized something? I don't think I ever put the second Crafternoon up on YouTube.
Oh. That's a bummer.
Yeah, I had those couple of crazy weeks where I had to take off.
Right. Yeah, that can always make things tough.
Yeah. Suddenly having to flee the country. Extradition treaties, am I right? Hashtag relatable. Oh man, I'm just saying, Game Zero cannot come fast enough.
I know. I'm excited, even though I'm not playing it. I'm excited just to help it run the thing.
Yeah.
Because I think it's going to be really cool. Oh, that was too much left on the brush, I think.
Oh yeah, for anybody who saw the last Crafternoon, my Game Zero is officially confirmed to be alongside Bridget, who you saw last time. And this I am excited about. And we both are like in that stage where we're like, I'm so excited. And like, but we don't actually know anything about each other's characters. So we're like, I think it's going to be cool. I think so too. But like, what if our characters hate each other? Like right off the bat.
That'll make it an amazing session 0.
That'll be the best. And then we show up with the rest of the party and it's like, why have those two like always hated each other? All right, bronze trim, and then we get a little bit of gold in there. And then Helri's done, and I paint her base. I'm excited. Nope, wrong color. How's that going?
I think it's going good. I'm definitely seeing some differences, although now I'm also noticing the spots that I missed in my previous passes. Oh, shit. Okay, time to do a little bit of touch-up. And then do more of this flecking of...
You know, when it comes to primering, I'm actually coming more and more around to the idea of gray primer. Because you kind of get the best of both worlds. You get like a darker look, but it's also way easier to spot things that you need to paint when you're working on a particular color. And next time when I run out of primer, I'm probably going to be ordering some gray.
And I would imagine that would do a good job of picking up a lot of the shadows of the base mini as well. So it'd look even kind of okay right off the bat and tell you exactly what to plan to paint.
Yeah.
Whereas this, it's like, oh yeah, there's all these details that I'm seeing as I've been painting it.
Right.
Because it now picks up the color and all that a lot more.
Exactly. And you know, when you buy like the traditional standard D&D minis, Nulzers or whatever, they are generally highlighted in not quite white. Like they look white, but they're actually an off sort of gray.
Yeah.
And it's a very versatile color.
It's true. It's true. Okay. Welcome to the Mighty Nine.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is my girl. Yeah, I can't believe I was going to omit the leg trim. This is so Helri. Holy shit. Oh, this song makes me cry. Hey!
Okay.
That's my girl. That's my girl. I love her so much. That's fantastic.
Actually, I can probably do an update on this one too now. I'm
yeah.
feeling pretty good about these highlights.
Yeah, let's see
They
this.
started to come through it.
Oh, yeah, they have. Oh, man, that looks great already.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to do some like individual streaks of color on different things and like. But even if I didn't add any metal buckles or darker leather straps or anything, I'd be pretty happy with his look for the armor.
Totally.
Sweet.
So if you do want to go in and pick out individual details, it's nice to think like color wheel wise. So with a basic green, admittedly gray, but still green skin color, like a dark maroon on like some pouches or some straps or something like that would just like offset that really well, or something in the red space, you know. Even orange looks really good next to it.
Yeah, maybe I'll do a deep like orange-ish red on the pouches and the bedroll.
Yeah, that looks sexy.
Do like a light gray for the main backpack and then a dark orangish red for the bedroll and those pouches. And then try and probably actually go back even to this leathery color. In fact, maybe I'll do that now. Do that same sort of leather color for the bow.
Hell yeah, man.
Because I think that could look pretty good. I think I'll do that now before I switch to the other stuff. Since it won't matter if that overlaps, because it's all the same thing.
Okay. So I'm kind of going to move my paper towel over here because I'm painting the base, and generally the easiest way to paint the base is just to have it press down on whatever surface you're on.
Right. That makes sense.
But you don't want to paint your cutting pad. And then I am personally a big believer in painting the edge of the base different colors and having different characters have the edge of their base be different colors, so it's always really easy to spot where your character is at a glance on the battlefield. It's like, so I'm going to make the edge of Helri's sort of that electric blue of her hair, and then when you're looking out across the battlefield, you see that electric blue ring, and you're like, where's Helri? There she is.
That is clever.
Yeah, I like that technique.
Do you by any chance know what colors people are using for the Iron Belly game, or if people have colors?
They do not. I didn't actually do that with Peldon.
Okay.
But I didn't really kind of know about that technique when I painted her. And also to a degree, it only works if everybody else is... No, that's not true. I guess I could paint Peldon like a green and she'd be pretty identifiable. But yeah.
Probably whatever maroon color I do, I'll probably do that for the ring as well.
Nice. Well, you want it to be a little on the bright side. Because again, you want it to be sort of eye-catching.
Right, so... Yeah, figure out something.
I love how in the beginning of Critical Role Campaign 2, everybody's really worried that Jester's in a cult. Or like being taken advantage of, or like the victim of some like creepy thing or whatnot. And like, wait, you said you're where now?
A 76. So
what's happening with Jester?
The main,
spoilers for Critical Role up to Campaign 2 up to episode 76.
The main event that's coming up hasn't happened yet.
That event that she's trying to arrange and prepare for?
Yes.
Right. She's doing the thing that they were all worried was happening to her beforehand.
Yeah.
And everybody's on board with it.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, man. Exciting times for the Mighty Nine. I'm so excited to be caught up. Although I'm also kind of bummed because once I'm caught up, I'll have to wait a week like everyone else.
Well, there's always going back and watching Campaign 1.
I've already finished Campaign 1. That's why it's taken me so long.
Okay, that makes sense. There's also, what was I about to say?
There's all the one-shots and the Tox Machinas and...
There's all that, which I'm up on all that. But this is going to surprise a lot of you out there in internet land. There's other D&D shows.
It's true.
I will be honest. I have never been able to get into the McElroy brothers. They're great guys. They seem really nice and everything like that. I just have never connected with them. And somebody told me, and that's why I never listened to the Adventure Zone, but somebody told me, a friend who I trust, they were like, Garrett, you specifically would like the Adventure Zone. And you specifically should watch it. And I was like, huh. Well, color me intrigued. Fine. I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, you pretty much have to after a recommendation like that.
Right. Especially, you know, like, when it's like a good friend and not some sort of person who's like, oh, hey, you like blah, don't you? And you're like, I mean, it's fine. You know, and they've met you once at a party and you mentioned one thing about one thing one time and they're like, oh, that's the guy who likes blah. And you're like, that's not where I thought this, that's not where I wanted my reputation to be. All right, so we got some Kraken blue. I think I'm going to put the ring on and repair it later because with blue being a lighter color on the spectrum, it's going to need a couple of coats.
Okay.
Oh, come on. Why are you doing this to me? Oh, is it like... Huh.
Where's that brush I was using for the... I think this one.
Could you hand me... There's a little packet of nails over there. Could you just hand me a nail?
This dude? Oh. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking the look of this bow, I think. I think I'm going to go a little bit heavier, though, on this stuff, so it'll be come across as a little more woody. But gonna start with the dry flecking it and see how that goes.
There's a snake in my boat. Because...
Yep, woody. Yeah,
it's
nope.
woody. I apologize.
No need. Puns are what make a stream.
God, that reminds me. I've been meaning to rewatch Deadwood for a really long time.
Oh yeah, that'll I guess be one to watch when I get all caught up.
Well, not Undeadwood, although yes, I actually need to. I've been meaning to watch that too. But the original show, Deadwood, boy, that is a show that I enjoy. It's very. It was actually a big inspiration in my writing.
Ooh.
Because it has such a unique approach to dialogue. And I didn't try... It's not that I tried to do their approach to dialogue, but it literally made me think about the entire subject of dialogue in a completely different way. Huh. And so I was like, I want to find my own thing that is as unique and cool as Deadwood's dialogue. And, I mean, according to some Amazon reviewers, I have failed miserably. But I like it.
You know what? That's what matters.
That's right.
Okay, I'm actually really stoked by this bow. I want to take a look.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get the ring done, and then...
I basically went slightly heavier on the dry brushing. Did maybe not quite as dry of a dry brush, but still it mostly kind of layered partially rather than a full...
Let
recoloring.
us inspect. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like how it's obviously still definitely like a woody brown, but it sticks out from the leather.
Exactly. It's literally the same base color as the leather, but it sticks out because it's a more heavy coating of that tan.
Yeah.
Or whatever, or the not tan.
Khaki.
Khaki, yeah.
You know, it might almost be worth giving it one more light dry brush and mix some yellow in there to further sort of differentiate it a bit.
Right.
Looks fucking great, though.
Yeah, I'm really stoked. I think I'll try just a normal second dry brush.
Nice, okay.
And then I'll add the yellow and see what that does.
Oh, actually, we're not going to go with another blue. I think we're ready to dry brush the stone. Brush the stone.
Because actually already as this dries, it's darkening up to look more similar to the leather.
Yeah.
So definitely tough to get colors right on this.
It is. Where was that? Oh.
I think actually probably I'll leave it mostly like this because I will just won't darken up. Basically do the wash. I won't do that on this.
Okay.
Because it probably is going to be kind of a shinier, slightly cleaner thing. So then when all the leather's darkened up, it'll differentiate it a little bit more still.
Nice.
So I think I'll...
By the way, Bridget, if you're out there, I think I'm using your paintbrush, and I apologize for nothing.
Okay. I'm going to call that good on the bow.
No.
I'm realizing that could have been a mistake.
We will use you.
Okay, time to try making a red.
So on that one, on the red, since you're going to be picking out details, dry brushing is not going to be as much of an option.
Right.
So make sure that you start dark again, but this time you're going to mix and paint on the highlights, which is going to be a lot easier considering it's going to be... Ooh, sorry for kicking you, audience. It's going to be a lot easier because you're not covering too... There's not going to be a whole lot of red, you know?
Right. Okay. So start dark, mix in lighter, and do that for the detailing.
Exactly. Very similar to how you did the ears and nose on the face.
Yeah. There's flamenco red.
I need more gray, lighter gray.
This is dragonfire.
Oh, didn't I give you? I did.
Ooh. If you need any of these.
No.
I realize I'm hoarding paints over here.
Very Eldunk of you.
Yep.
Okay. Job's done.
I think probably actually some flamenco red mixed with maybe even that melted chocolate brown.
Oh, nice.
Just a little touch of brown to darken it,
Yeah.
but more the red.
And it's always smarter, by the way, when you're darkening colors, in general, it's always smarter to go with another color instead of black, because black is just overpowering.
Yeah. Like actually, probably for the hair, I'll start with black and incorporate gray just to lighten it up, because black by itself, straight black is rarely the actual correct effect.
Exactly. Actually, most of the time with black, and I know that I was using black for the tattoos before, but I try to start with like this pavement where it's like, I mean, most people look at that and they're just like, it's black, but it's actually a very dark gray.
Okay.
So that's a good starting point
I
for
might just
stuff
do
like black
straight
hair.
that.
Yeah.
Because probably don't need to lighten that anymore.
Yeah, it can still be good to give it a little bit of, depending on what, if you're talking about like hair and beard, like a little bit of highlighting in there. And I can teach you some techniques for like very small dry brushing, because hair is always, dry brushing works better the more ridges and details there are in the thing you're dry brushing. And so hair always has lots of little ridges.
Yeah.
And so it's like the perfect target for a good, way too much paint. Perfect target for a good dry brush.
Cool. That was good to know, yeah. So I should probably get to that soonish. Also, I'm realizing I probably made a mistake doing the bow before the backpack. Definitely going to be some touch-ups needed on all this stuff, but, you know.
That's one
I
of
can
those
just
lessons.
get it close. It'll be good.
Yeah. Inside out, you know?
Yep. I was just like, oh, I have those colors ready already, so yeah. Whatever. Lessons learned.
Now, what color is the backpack going to be?
Well, I'm going to do the red stuff first. And then I'll figure out that. Because it's going to be probably just like... Actually, maybe I could go with like... Not a leather backpack, but something made out of... I don't know.
Cloth or something?
Yeah, just do a cloth backpack and do like a grayish material.
I was actually just going to suggest gray would be cool. It would be very appropriate for him as a rogue.
Yeah.
And it would provide a little bit of contrast and further separation between the armor and the bow.
Exactly, because that's kind of what I'm realizing. Even if I do a really light brown, it's still going to be brown, brown, brown.
Right.
So that would be kind of weird. In fact, what I really want is to have a nice light gray, I think.
Yep.
Something that will pop, and because obviously he's skipping around eating food. It's not like he's being stealthy, so I'm not worried about it looking like he would be super sneaky right now.
Exactly. All right. We will finish this blue ring here. Or give it another coat, I should say.
Ooh, I think this color is going to be pretty good. Yeah, I like it.
In the blue corner, Helri Gelnagha. Was that a spoiler about her character? Maybe. Maybe. Only time will tell. And me. I mean, I'm actually going to be the one to tell that.
I'm really excited to see all these characters come to life.
Oh my god. It's like when Henry, we thought we were going to get our first stream up this month, and when Henry was like, Harry, did I say Henry? Thinking, Harry and Helri are mixing in my head, and it's not good. Anyway, but when he was like, yeah, we're going to have to probably not do the first stream until August, I was like, wait, oh, no.
Tragedy.
Actually, I think... Yeah. I'm going to stop recording because we are losing a lot of frames at this point. And it keeps happening.
That might help. And then we can still download it, presumably off of Twitch. So
yes.
That'll be the way to go.
Oh, too much, too much, too much. Calm down. No! Oh, fuck! It's okay. Everything's fine. Pay no attention to the screams of despair.
It must be so weird to be the Critical Role cast and be like, yeah, there's just like a ton of music out there, taking things we've said in character and putting it to a tune.
Well, you know, like, yeah, like they have spoken of and know Autumn Orange, this artist.
I can imagine.
And like, that's crazy, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this person did a whole, like, has done multiple albums and is always working on another one based off of our voice samples. Huh. It's amazing.
Yeah. That whole community is just insane.
It really is.
In a totally good way.
Yeah,
It
totally.
is insane.
Oh, where's my black wash?
I keep feeling the need to like tuck it in like this. I'm sure it's not helping, but
Tuck it in?
like I keep doing this to like get the detail work when
Oh.
I don't know.
I mean, whatever makes you more comfortable and feel like you can reach it better is, like, completely valid.
There. Oh, a little bit of leakage, but that's fine. I am quite happy with this color.
This is my patented black wash. You've seen it on the stream before. And we're going to stick her right here, and we're going to paint that black wash right all over the whole base. Oh yeah. Now it's not going to look this drastic when it dries, but like, look at that detail that brings out. I'll give you guys a close up in just a sec here. Yeah, that base is popping a little more. Anyway, she's done. I'm going to wait for that base to dry, and then she's getting a coat of varnish, and then I am officially wrapped with Helri.
Oh shit. Nice. Do you have another project you were thinking of working on, or?
Well, I was actually just about to wonder to myself, what the fuck am I going to do now? I have a bunch of terrain that needs dry brushing, and that's probably what's going to happen.
Cool.
All that's done, all that's done. Let me see here.
Ah, shit.
These are my custom built dungeon walls, which I'm a big fan of. Yeah, we're gonna get on these, which means I need my big brushes.
Oh wow, that's cool. Why did I have to put a bow over a backpack? Why did I do this to myself?
These things we do not realize until we have gotten ourselves a few miniatures and gotten very attached to them and then tried to paint them.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to touch up the ear a little bit and the shoulder pauldrons. So.
Womp, womp, womp. But that's what happens.
Yeah. Actually, if we want to do another status update, I'm feeling pretty good about some of these colors.
Oh yeah, let's see it. Oh, that maroon is
Yeah.
great.
Especially once I add some highlights in there to add some bright little touches. So the backpack and then the pouches on the side.
Oh yeah. That bedroll is fantastic. He's really coming together.
He is, yeah. Like, I'm really stoked about this, actually.
It's fun, right?
Yeah, it is. I think probably when I'm done here, I'm going to be looking for a starter mini painting set.
Yeah.
Because I want to keep doing this.
Yeah, it's good. At one point, we really are just going to be, I think, once I've got some terrain together, the next big project that I want to do is some terrain specifically for use in the stream. But sort of once that's done, it's just I think we're just going to be getting new minis and painting them and adding them to the collection, so Jesse has more and more stuff. Like, and I can just be like, hey, you can always use more elementals, and just like get a bunch of elementals and paint them up and everything, because it's like you run into that thing where I don't want to know what kind of monsters we're going to be fighting necessarily.
Right. Yeah.
But there's so many things that just like get more goblins, get more gnolls, get more kobolds, get more.
Yeah. So especially like doing this every week, if we can just like crank out a couple minis every time and
Exactly
expand the collection, that'll be pretty cool. Okay, well, I think I need to get just.
And of course, most of them don't get the same level of detail that like Helri gets. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm sure Eldunk is definitely not going to get that much detail. I do not have the patience to add individual banding for each of these. But, like, I'm just happy to have something that's looking really cool. Okay, so actually, I suppose what I should do is do just some straight red and do a little bit of highlighting. This is a good detail-y brush.
Oh, hey, we've been going for an hour and a half.
Oh, wow.
Let's give it another 12 minutes and then take a quick break.
Sure.
Use the restroom and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Refresh our waters.
Wow, yeah, the time's been flying.
Right? It really does when you do this. And that's what's crazy is like, once I get started, I'll go forever. But like, one reason Crafternoon is great for me personally is that it's very hard for me to actually start. Like, I'll just put it off and put it off and put it off. Once you actually just sit down and do it, it actually goes really fast. And it's a lot of fun.
Not sure how I feel about these highlights, but
For the red?
yeah.
Little too stark, or?
I don't know. I'm not sure what I should be highlighting, I guess.
Oh, well, you want to kind of go for... it's a combination of like raised areas that are going to hit the light. And then in general, I try to highlight like outlines. Like if you think about it, and again, there's a few different ways of thinking about painting miniatures. But if I think about it in terms of tabletop painting. So I'm painting what's going to create the best effect when viewed from other people around the table.
Right.
And so like the most intricate details and the most like accurate lighting, highlighting and everything like that is not actually going to be as effective as sort of creating something that has an impressionistic effect, where from far away it communicates the idea that you are trying to make the person think about.
Right, that makes sense.
That's why, like, on her arm tattoos, I mean, to be totally honest, I probably couldn't, without a great deal of time, paint arm tattoos like they actually were in that reference photo. But even if I could, that wouldn't be something that you could see when you're sitting around the table playing.
Yeah, it would probably come across worse than doing it just in a more basic.
Exactly, sort of rough fashion.
Yeah. Okay, a little highlighting on the edges there at least. Give it some more visual interest. Should help.
Oof. Okay, well.
I've lost my green brow. or my green-gray.
Oh, yeah, that'll happen.
Probably rejuvenate with a little bit of water, maybe.
Actually, for new colors, you should take the wet palette so that things will stay usable longer, and I don't need it right now.
Well, I feel like literally it's just that I accidentally touched the ear
Right.
with a little bit of red, so I'm
Well, as you keep going, though, you might find that you're, doing other new colors and whatnot, so it's just helpful. If you have anything new, make sure to do it on the palette.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, so what next? I think I'm going to do the backpack. Get that out of the way, and then that'll be the bulk of the main shapes. Then it'll be just dagger, drumstick, and hair. Still.
Nice.
So many things.
But you ready to move on to the next part?
I think so. I'm going to work on...
Well, let's use that opportunity to take a break then.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know about you.
Good idea.
I could use a restroom.
Yeah. And actually, if you want to maybe take a look at this and see if you think there's any spots that I should do some touch-ups before the red dries out. Just because I've got the red and the brown still ready. I'm thinking it looks pretty good, but I don't know what I'm maybe not seeing. So I added little touches of brighter red at some of the ridges there, which adds some good pop.
I like that. I like that. Oh yeah, red on the edges is good.
Yeah.
There are some straps around the bedroll that it might be good to hit.
I was thinking those I'll do in a different color. Like,
Yeah,
actually, I should go back to the brown then and do those real quick. While
Exactly.
It's still there. Yeah.
But again, you want to paint the roll first and then the straps inside out and whatnot.
Exactly.
But boy, he is looking very good.
Yeah. Pretty excited about this. I'm wondering if I should do a more direct, just like chocolatey brown on some of those straps. Like, he's got all the straps going across the body, and it's all blending a little. It's popping well enough, I think.
With the
I'm
highlights.
not overly concerned. Yeah, because of the highlighting, but
if you were going to do it, I would say you could do a darker brown.
I think I'm probably fine with just the highlights, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll probably just keep it simple. It looks good.
Yeah.
No sense overcomplicating it. I might add little, like, metal brackets or something. Once I get the steel color for the dagger,
Yeah.
I might add a couple of, like, loops and brackets and things here and there just to vary
Nice.
a bit. But yeah, so I'm going to do a real quick application of brown on the backpack.
All right, I'm going to let you do that, and then we will take our break.
Sounds good.
I will probably dry brush. Is Helri's thing ready for a dry brush? Yes, it is. Come here, little brush.
Actually, I should be using that.
Good miss. That is a done Helri. Let's get in for one more close-up here. See those base highlights. There she is. Ready for a coat of varnish. Oh, God, I love her so much. I really hope she doesn't, like, die in game 0.
That would be so unfortunate.
I mean, like, I don't even know what people are gonna do if that happens, because that can happen. You could just die.
Probably like Helri's long lost twin sister or something, who happens to have all the same equipment. Yeah, that would
I guess I could make that work. I don't know though.
Yeah, well.
And I will say that if anybody's gonna die in the game 0, it's probably not gonna be Helri. She's got a lot going on. Hmm.
Well, I hope this looks a little more like I want it once it dries. But that will probably have to do for the straps and the touch-ups. Okay.
We all good?
I think so.
Huzzah. Okay, let me just get this last dry brush coat on here.
I may have mostly actually just applied water, but a little bit of brown there, so it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. What could go wrong?
Yeah.
Everything. Oh man, when you've been working on a model like Helri for a really long time, doing something like this is just so like, I don't care.
Yeah.
So nice.
Oh.
All right, everybody. We are going to take a short break. We will be back in about 10-15 minutes. Until then, enjoy the sweet tunes of Autumn Orange. See you in a few. Oh, are you hearing the sweet tunes of Autumn Orange? Oh my god. Hold on. You will in a moment.
What's your name? Ford. Have you a surname? No.
This group seems rough around the edges. But you seem clever. Hopefully we can make this work.
I think we should be able to. Yeah. I mean, I think amongst all of us, we should be fine.
Let's make it work.
We'll make it work.
Have you had these magic abilities your whole life like a kid?
No. Again, fairly recently.
Something happened?
understand. Reward for this. I'm listening. Can I confide in you for something?
Oh, yes, please.
I'm a little unnerved about this sword. Would you stand watch for a second?
It seems like a bad idea, sure. Talk about or don't remember properly, I think.
Eldritch fire! I didn't have most of this all of my life. All I had was my words to get out of situations, to try and heal conflict, to try and outsmart somebody. And now all of a sudden I have this power and I feel like it's a shortcut, and I've been cheating myself. Eldritch Leave no trace.
No, I'm taking this.
Put it back or
I'm
I'll
taking this. Isn't worth my time. I'm taking this.
down.
Ford, put that fucking thing down.
I will fucking leave both of you here. We're either a team or you're working for yourselves. Decide.
As the sleep takes you, and the darkness of your dream state alleviates you of the stress of the day, your aching muscles turning numb, your physical form and consciousness now removed and aimless.
that you did your own dental work at one point. Did you do that on purpose?
Okay, we are unmuted. Welcome back. Here we go. Back at it again with the white vans. So, where are you at?
Yeah, so I'm thinking now I want to do kind of a, like, is burlap the right... Basically some, like, gray linen type thing for the backpack.
Okay.
So, I'm kind of thinking even this sort of thing mixed with something...
Maybe start with this sort of tone, because it's, like, halfway in between that, like, super dark. And we should actually probably switch spots, since you're doing more intricate detail now. And let's get in for that close-up view and get you situated over here.
Sounds good. I guess we can just leave the water jugs, although I've made this way more a mess than I think you have.
Yeah, we should trade thingies, because this is for my dry brushing.
Right.
So yeah, you can sort of get, once you get sat down,
yeah,
I'll full focus for the audience here.
Sounds good. Yeah, somewhere like that, I think. Nice. And all around shot.
Ugh. Grab my big old brush.
Oh yeah. Cool. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really liking how this is turning out.
Hey, he looks great. Should be proud. It is. We were commenting when we came back in. It feels worse in the garage than it did before break.
Yeah, and it already felt pretty bad.
Because we had been inside with the nice air conditioning and just a pleasant life experience once again. And then, I'm actually going to. I've been searching Craigslist and stuff, trolling for window air conditioning units so that I can put them in my bedroom and then my office upstairs. And I might just get a portable one. Like, we can probably figure out.
Yeah.
It would be better than nothing in here, you know?
True. Although, really, even just a fan blowing on us and circulating air in here could help.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, because there's no air movement.
That is accurate.
This is actually
although that reminds me, now that people aren't driving, I could crack the door a little bit.
That could be a good thing to try.
Finish this wall. I do love, as one side thing, that no matter what happens in the future, Natural 20 Proof started in a garage.
It's true.
It's the classic success story.
Yep.
Even if some people's garages were on like multi-million-dollar estates. Looking at you, Bezos.
Yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I'm gonna just try and find like references or something for what might look good.
Oh, actually, you know, she's ready for a varnish. Oh, do you want to know the super advanced technique for spraying miniatures, whether you're spray painting them or varnishing them?
Sure.
This is some elite hacker skills right here. You take a 2x4. You take some packing tape. You loop the packing tape. Like this. Stick it on the 2x4. And then you stick your character on it. And you can do multiple characters, of course, if you want to. And the reason you do it this way is because you're going to take it outside, obviously. You don't want to ever spray, varnish, or paint anything in an enclosed space. And when you have it like this, you can turn it so you can get the undersides and all the different angles and everything like that. So speaking of which, I'm going to pop outside and varnish her real quick.
Sounds good.
You all good on the backpack?
Yeah, what are you thinking of this color? I feel like it's...
I think it's a good base, but you're going to work up towards that lighter gray, for sure. And again, we won't dry brush that one. You'll just paint it straight on. Where is my brush?
Yep.
Oh, it's over there.
So yeah, this is where I'm very much regretting my mistake of doing the bow first. I'm now having a lot of stuff to work around to avoid needing to repaint. But again, lessons learned.
Okay.
Nice. It's going well.
Now she sits by the open door.
That sounds like a song lyric. Now she sits by the open door.
Oh.
Yep, gonna have to do some touch up on this bow again, but I suppose it's probably expected.
That is how it go. But I gotta tell you, it's so light and breezy outside.
Oh,
It's nice.
I can imagine. It's always nicer when the sun goes down. It finally stops being direct beating heat. I think I'm okay with how this is going. Where's the focus? Got a little bit of a contrast there, but yeah, definitely gonna need some more like light, bluish highlights probably. In fact, I might try and take some of this, and add a little bit of white to it to brighten it up even more.
Good idea.
Oh, dear.
Oh no!
Oh, good.
Eldunk, no!
No!
Make a dexterity saving throw immediately.
Nat 20. Oh, good.
I rolled a 2. Oh, just kidding, I rolled a 10. Oh, you want to know something interesting? I spotted. Now, this doesn't matter, and this is not a criticism, and I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea, but I spotted a rules error in Critical Role this week.
Oh, really? Yeah, I feel like there's a not insignificant number of those.
For sure.
They're
As there
definitely-
are in most D&D games,
Yeah.
for the record.
Yep.
But I am in particular a big fan of the rogue skill Reliable Talent. You familiar with that one?
That's the one where you can never roll below a 10, right?
Well, but there's a big caveat, and it's on a skill check in which you have proficiency.
Ah.
Oh, wait, no. Nope, I was incorrect. I thought I found a rules error, but then I investigated and I was wrong. So never mind. But it was interesting because I feel like a lot of people forget that, and they're like, oh, well, I can't roll below a 10. It's like, no. You definitely can.
Yeah. Is there a white color? I'm liking this bluish. I'm liking this tint for the fabric. I'm just thinking it needs to be a little lighter, too.
You want some of this?
Sure.
Lighter gray?
Yep.
So, the other really interesting thing about Reliable Talent, and of course, you know, I've heard that a number of DMs house rule this differently, but according to Reliable Talent, rules as written, this includes natural ones.
Yeah.
Natural one isn't a natural one, which means it isn't an automatic failure. It's just a 10.
Yeah.
And that's like
A little bit ridiculous.
woof.
Well, and it's like the halfling lucky trait. It's like, oh, great, you can never roll a nat 1.
Well, I mean, you still can, but
It never... Well, unless you re-roll and get another nat 1.
exactly, which is possible. You know, like, I mean, just a few weeks ago in the Iron Belly Sunday game, I rolled wisdom saving throw with advantage, and I rolled 2 nat 1s.
Oh my god.
And it's like, well, you can't do anything about that. You failed. Congrats, you're charmed, elf.
Oh man.
You might say I got elf dunked.
Oh jeez. Oh my.
Okay, walls are all done. I just have a couple more floor pieces. Ooh, sorry, getting in the way. Sorry, stream.
Okay.
You know what I just realized? I did not post to my Discord server.
Ooh.
Or did I? I did. Never mind. I lied.
This poor bow. Okay. I think something like this is looking pretty good. I'll show it to the stream next, but
That is looking great.
yeah.
Yeah, a little touch up on that bow, but
Yep.
I like it.
That's fine. Yeah.
So you can sort of get it in there, and then if you twist the camera a little bit, the lens, you can, well, that's the focus pull, but you probably want to zoom all the way in first.
Actually, maybe I could.
Yeah, all the way that way. There you go. Boom. It's a skill for sure.
Yeah. So you can see.
That differentiation between the bow with the gray separating the bow and the leather is doing you so many favors.
Yeah. I'm not positive it's the best possible color for it, but I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really liking this. It's really coming together.
Could you hand me the trackpad?
Just want to make sure I don't click something.
Probably smart.
Okay, let's set this back down and refocus. Okay. So now I think I'm gonna call that good. In fact, I'm gonna try dry brushing this with a little bit of that just light gray, because I actually think there's enough grooves and things on here that dry brushing could work well.
Well, now here's the problem with dry brushing that in particular. it's so small, it's going to be almost impossible to dry brush without hitting the surrounding stuff.
Okay.
So that's where you kind of want to go in with that detail work and with a
Right.
detail brush and just grab a little bit of something that looks like this maybe.
Because that's kind of the highlighting I've already done. I've done a layer of this and then a layer of this stuff.
Okay.
And then I was thinking of just doing like speckling, kind of let it get highlighted a little with that light gray. Purely.
Oh gosh, I had missed the details on that.
Yeah, so I think I've already done most of what I want to do. I'm purely thinking at essentially a highlight, like a little, just a tinge of something that looks like it's reflecting light.
I don't think you need to.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd leave that.
Because if I did, it would definitely be just literally this light gray color, so something slightly brighter than the rest of it, just slight touch. But probably
You give it a shot. If you want to go in with a little tiny dry brush, just make sure not to. You want to be real careful not to hit the red and the brown that surrounds it. You know.
Yeah, true. Okay. Just do a touch of that. Not even sure if it did much, but I think it did a tiny bit, and so I'm happy with that. I'll call that good there. Now just to... I'm guessing my brown there is entirely dead now, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure
okay.
is.
So
But
I'm
that's
going to have to find something to touch up the bow with.
Well, now you can mix it on the wet palette, and that's going to make it last longer if you ever need to get back in there.
Yep. I suppose I'll do the other stuff first. Pavement. Is that the same as what's here? Is this a pavement or is that something else?
I think that might just be black.
No, it might be like black. That looks like it's something slightly off black. So
Well,
I'm just
you know the
thinking that might
easiest
be
way to
good.
find out.
True. Just figured rather than using more space on there. Looks like it.
Yep.
Cool. So I'm just gonna go in and do the hair now. Actually, the hair and the beard. That's gonna be a real trick. Okay, what is the most precise possible? This guy looks like.
This one.
Okay.
Hey. All done.
Nice.
So now we magnetize shit. And this is going to be exciting. First, we got a whole bunch of walls. And we got some glue. And we got some nails and some magnets. I haven't smelled that Proxon cutter smell in a really long time.
Let's get in there. Oh, this is by far the scariest bit.
I know that feel.
I'm going to just load up the 3D model picture I sent to the Discord so I can see more clearly what the face looks like. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah, faces are always a bit nerve-wracking, aren't they?
Yeah.
And glue gun action.
I'm also kicking myself right now for deciding to have a big turkey leg right in front of my face. God.
Well, the good thing again is that you don't have to worry about making a mistake on the turkey leg right now.
Oh yeah, it's true.
It might be easier to, and also is going to keep it on the screen if you sort of lean for, if you hold the base of the holder against the table, and that becomes sort of like your focal point on your tripod. You know, like this sort of.
Right.
Yeah, exactly, that sort of thing.
Damn, I can't even hardly tell. I think I'm gonna call it there on the facial hair.
Nice.
Let me go ahead and move it up to the camera.
Sweet. You want to get his eyebrows, or are you going to leave them?
Oh, good call. Yeah. Right. I think this is the one I was using.
Oh, shit. I fucked up.
So did I think.
On the eyebrow?
Yeah,
Oh, now I
splashed it
feel
a
bad.
little too. Mostly looking good, but
All right, pray with me, stream.
oh, should I?
Hmm?
Actually, I guess. What's happening here?
I miscut a piece of foam, and now I need to carve it out of what I already did. So, entreat whichever great old one currently has your soul in thrall, that I don't fuck this up. Nice, okay.
Cool.
So far, so good.
Okay, now I'm going for probably the finest little bit of detail work I'm going to be doing. The tusks.
Oh, nice.
That'll do, I think. Not super prominent. I don't think there's much more I can do with that. I'm reasonably happy with that face.
It's a good face.
Yeah. What do you think of the tusks?
Let's see. Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Couple little issues with that black, but it's mostly got in the right places.
Hell yeah.
So,
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that dark gray is doing you a lot more favors than pure black would.
Yeah, I think so. I'm probably going to try and do a little bit of like highlighting in black because I pictured it being slightly darker than this, but I think that that'll probably be the way to do it. But for now, I kind of just want to get all the base colors down.
Yeah.
And then go from there with any highlighting. So I think I'm going to do the turkey leg now. Change focus back. Okay, how do I want to do a turkey leg? I think I'll be starting with more of this melted chocolate. I've been using this for a lot of things. But this plus some, in fact, how would it look just this guy?
flickering?
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was stream or what happened.
Ghosts are about to kill us, everybody.
Yep.
We apologize.
Pray for our souls. The eldritch beings are kind.
Oh no, I don't know about you. My soul's long gone.
Oh.
Yeah. Can we talk about that?
I don't know. Imagine it's a bit of a touchy subject amongst those who haven't yet surrendered their souls. But really, they just don't know what they're missing out on yet.
That's right. I mean, anybody who was at Sunday's Iron Belly campaign knows how I feel about selling my soul.
Sure.
Those there were some reactions there.
Yeah, that was an interesting moment for sure. I think Eldunk really just wasn't sure. Wait, is this just standard procedure for Peldon, or
Is this happen all the time?
like
She normally goes Super Saiyan like this?
I'm still quite happy with my little trust your gut.
That was good. That was good. So I think, so that's, Garrett thinks deep thoughts.
Deep thoughts about what?
How to magnetize what I'm working on. Okay, I think I got it. Oh, is that good? All right. Once you have a second.
I can try and help out. Or...
So I have magnetized dungeon tiles, and I love them. Okay. So I don't know if you saw these in previous games, but
don't think so.
They make the clicky clack. It's
Right.
very good.
Nice.
And the key component of the magnetization is that you have a magnet on the left, always,
Right.
and a nail on the right, always. Okay? So as long as you keep that going, you got it. You can magnetize everything to everything, and it's all modular, and it's all good.
Right.
So on the walls, easy. Magnet, nail.
Yeah.
Just like everything else. Now the ends become interesting, because the ends need something on all three sides, and so those will connect other pieces like these, which should be able to go pop or pop or pop, you know, in any combination like this, right? But on the three, I feel like they have to all be magnets. All three sides have to be magnets, because then And then,
So I guess the question would be, how often do you think you'd want the one here and one there? Because I guess that could happen. So in that case, yeah, it does probably have to be magnets. But what you could do is make it so that you can't put them any which way, but you can always flip them and get a different configuration. So if you were to have, say, magnet, magnet, nail, nail, then by flipping it around, you have, well, like this would be magnet, nail. You flip it around, it's nail, magnet. So you could...
What's the benefit there?
Well, you could basically rotate it to get different orientation while having essentially the same visual effect. So at least if you don't want to do magnets everywhere, that would be a way to double the amount of like potential permutations. But it still will have restrictions, so probably best to do magnets all around if that would work.
I think it's going to be, which makes it like ever so slightly more expensive, but like on the order of like 5 cents per piece.
Okay.
So
yeah.
that's okay.
If there's no other downsides, then yeah, might as well.
Okay. That's what's going to happen.
And so on the base, you'll basically do the same nail magnet, and then do the same on the reverse side. You can have a pair on each side of it, easy enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, that's
Cool.
That's how this is going to go. I haven't magnetized any of the walls, so this is an exciting moment for me.
New developments then. I have
Where'd my glue go? There's my glue.
turkey leg starting to be done.
Hey, that's a good color.
Reasonably happy with it.
You should add some slight pink to it, just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably add just some like pink tones.
But like it's raw, and everybody who watches them is like, "Oh no, you should really cook that." He's like, "What?"
Yeah, he's got a strong stomach. He can take it.
He does. That Constitution, though.
Yep. That Constitution score is basically exclusively dedicated to his gut.
Yep.
I suppose he is a great Iron Belly of the campaign.
Oh, because Iron Belly.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
What did I say? Magnet nail? Get in there. Magnet in there. Oh no, are you two glued together?
Oh no.
Where my knife at? Oh, you're out of the camera there, bro.
Yep. I'm just pretty much always out of the camera because I keep wanting to...
It's hard to keep track of, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's just like, I want to tuck it in as close as possible to increase my ability to make as few mistakes as possible, because I do not want to have to make this green again.
You want to trade back? We can trade back if you want.
People might actually appreciate watching the magnetizing, so that might be a good idea.
Let's do it.
Okay, this is a decent-ish turkey leg, but definitely need some lines of pink in there to round it out.
Opa.
And your drink.
All this. You. Thank you.
Yep.
Can't forget the beer.
Definitely not.
It's a natural 20 proof we're talking about. Yep. And could you hand me the trackpad once again?
Sure. Okie doke. And then I suppose we can I guess, does this matter for you anymore? This?
Nope.
Okay.
You want to take your...
Sure. Don't know them. I'll actually take this back here.
Okay.
So actually, if you're not going to need any brushes again, I can even move this water out of your way.
Oh, yeah, perfect. And then you can take the wet palette.
Yep.
And then all is right with the world once more. Okay, so let's get a good angle in here. So what we do here, as I said, I got my tiles, and I'll show you an example of one of my flat tiles. And this has got a magnet on the left. Oh, how are we on focus? You good? Yeah, we're pretty good. It's got a magnet on the left and a nail on the right. And so, could you pass me the other two flat 3 tiles right over there? The squares.
Oh.
There you go. And so, first of all, you know, they make the clicky clack. They click together very nicely, and they're, you know, it's a decently sturdy arrangement, and they always fit together. And I've also got the like corner pieces and stuff for cave walls, and those are magnetized the exact same way, and that's a very nice thing to have and everything like that. But what I don't have is walls, and in a lot of dungeons, walls are the most interesting feature. And so I've been developing these modular walls, and I want them to be magnetized as well. The big thing, a lot of people don't care about magnetizing, and that's totally fine. But big thing for me about magnetizing is that you have a much more stable battle map, and it's a lot harder for people to knock it around, or for somebody to bump the table and the tiles to shift and everything like that. And it just becomes a lot easier to use, which is why Dwarven Forge, you know, magnetizes a bunch of their stuff. I don't know. Do you know if they magnetize everything? I don't think they do.
I'm not sure. I feel like
none of us have ever had Dwarven Forge.
No. My exposure to Dwarven Forge is this kill cam is brought to you by Dwarven Forge. Pretty much that's my exposure to it, is Sam Riegel and Critical Role.
And I think that applies to most people.
Yeah.
But it is very nice. But, you know, what people do say about magnetization is it can make it harder to have your stuff be modular. And so this is my attempted solution, because I really like walls. Some people don't like to have walls up. They feel like it sort of like blocks the battlefield. I don't feel that way. I feel like it actually helps you establish the battlefield. You understand what your character can and can't actually see, because there's a wall there to tell you.
I call it cover for stealthing.
Yeah.
Too. Like, walls are a good thing. If they make sense.
Exactly. Now, what I am coming around to is, do you know Black Magic Craft?
I do not know.
He's a YouTuber, great guy. I've talked about him on the show before, and he's all about D&D crafting. So he introduced me to these tiles, but he doesn't make his magnetic, and he doesn't like really believe in magnetic tiles. I love my magnetic tiles, but he also said when you're making a building, you shouldn't make the interior walls. Like, in other words, for him, he had a building like this. He thinks that the whole thing should come off at the base, leaving behind the floor plan of the building for you to use.
Right.
And I get that, but my main problem with that one is that then are there walls inside the building? And if so, I want to see where those are. But I've come up with an idea that I want to try on my next big building project, which is that it lifts off like he says, and it leaves you with just the footprint of the building, but the interior walls are there, but they are half height.
Okay.
It's a lot less crafting time. You don't have to you don't have to craft the whole interior walls of the inside of the building.
Right.
But then you have the inner floor layout so characters don't get confused about what they can and can't see.
Yeah, it's very obvious. You can walk here, you cannot walk here.
Exactly. You can have doors that way and the whole deal.
Yep. Makes a lot of sense.
Although now that I'm thinking about it, if you have these modular walls, you could use those for the interior floor footprint of the building, and then the building can be different every time. You can use the same house exterior.
That is a good idea.
That's way better.
Yeah. Huh.
Okay. That's the thing to do then. Fuck.
Trying to figure out my color for this paring knife. It's getting close. It's just not quite there. But I suppose actually maybe when it dries, it might look better. Ooh, and I hope I have some maroon left because that would look. I should have done that for the hilt.
Oh yeah, this is going to go through magnets pretty quickly.
Think you'll have enough?
Yeah, should be fine. For what I've got now, for sure.
I like how much just straight up wisdom Taliesin seems to give out in like most episodes.
He's a really smart guy. I don't know if you've heard me talk about this at the Mead Hall before, but he's actually the member of the cast that I most want to meet, because he said something. You know their little show they do Between the Sheets?
Yeah.
He said something in his Between the Sheets episode that like really helped me out at a really rough point in my life.
Huh.
And I want to meet him and tell him that. So when conventions are a thing again. Yeah.
Ugh. Someday.
Wait, have we talked about Hamilton?
I've only talked about Hamilton with you guys in the context of how much Jesse hates Hamilton.
Ugh.
But I don't know.
Our dungeon master hates Hamilton, and I just can't.
Although he also hasn't actually seen it.
Correct.
Neither have I, so it's definitely a thing to be resolved. It's just,
We're gonna fix that.
Yeah.
But he's heard a bunch of individual songs and he didn't like any of them, and I'm just like, Jesse. It's not very fair of me to roast him when he's like not here to defend himself.
Well, he should be hanging out in stream then, so he can defend himself in chat.
That's true.
Jesse, we're calling you out. Shit, that is not the right approach for this. Shit.
Shit. Can you hand me that jig? That pink message? Yeah. Oh, and just so everybody knows out there, I am a big fan of making custom jigs when you're doing a job that you're gonna have to do the same thing over and over again. So I made this one literally just now over on my Proxon cutter, and I realized that this piece is extraneous and I need to cut it off. But once I cut it off, you will see why it's freaking awesome. Don't cut towards yourself, kids. Don't do what I just did. All right. So for these walls, like the one you just saw me magnetize, I need to put a few holes in for the magnets and nails. And so what a jig allows me to do is I can take it in here and I can push it against the side here in that little right angle that I've made. And I got a bunch of lines here that I can then just literally place my drill bit in them one by one. Boom, I got my hole. 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 And when I originally made my tiles, I hand measured each tile and hand measured each hole that I made in all of these. I took it and I hand measured each one and marked where I was going to put the hole. And oh my God, it took so long. And then I came up with the jig idea, and now I have a jig for the 3 square tiles, and now I have a jig for these. And by leaving off one side of the jig, I can now take even bigger pieces like these. I can take this guy, and I can go like, okay, I need one here, and then flip it around, and I need it on the other side, and everything like that. So, obviously, an even better solution would be to make a jig out of wood instead of foam. But this, I don't have like the tools to do that. I don't have actually like a bunch of like wood tools or workshop tools, despite, you know, this looking like a established workshop. It really isn't. But at one point, I will be able to make wooden jigs for myself. And in the meantime, foam ones that you can just make very cheaply and very easily. I mean, they work fine, especially for a specific project, you know. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all our walls and we're going to drill all of them in rapid succession. How's our boy coming along over there?
Pretty good. I think I'm just about done with the last like base layer of color.
Nice. Zoom out a little bit so you can see that.
Yeah.
Can I see it?
We'll do it.
Let's show the stream.
I'm not sure certain about that ruby hilt thing, but
I think it's a cool idea. Do you want to go metallic on the dagger?
That's what I was. Yeah, I kind of didn't. Wasn't sure if there was a better way to do that. But
the way to do that is with metallic paints. So those are all collected over here. This one's very weak coverage. This is probably the best coverage. It's also extremely bright. So it might be better to take... That's very bright as well. It might be better to take, like... That's super dark.
So weak coverage might be fine since I did do that base already. Like,
Yeah.
Would it...
So take this as a base and then paint over it with that guy right there.
Okay.
But in the meantime, here's the boy. Oh, he's looking really good. Dude, the Sunday crew is going to be so stoked when they see him.
I know. Oh my God.
Like, I'll tell you one thing. I did not know he had a beard. That was not in my awareness.
Yeah.
And like, I love him so much more now.
Yeah, I'd gotten some ideas based on just the random D&D Beyond portrait I got, but yeah, I don't think I ever verbalized all this stuff. So I kind of hadn't given it tons of thought myself until I had to like take this all and make it.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love him.
I think I'm not stoked by that like bright hilt thing, so I'm still gonna gonna try alternate options there.
And you can always repaint it.
It's true.
I redid Helri's entire cloak.
Oh, wow. Oh yeah, when doing the leopard thing.
Yeah. No. Originally, the cloak that's purple now, it was like a brown.
Oh. Huh.
I thought it was sort of like a weird. I mean, to be totally frank, I don't know what I was thinking, but I did it, and then I repainted the whole thing. Anyway, she's varnished now, and she's fucking ready to go.
Dang, that is so rad.
I need to do a photo shoot with her and post it on the D&D subreddit because, oh god, she's so good. I love her so much. Oof. Oof.
So base layer of this stuff, and then follow up with a layer of the other stuff.
Gotta get a photo here I can post online and shit. Oh god, I love her.
You did an amazing job with that.
Can you even focus that close, iPhone? Probably not, right? Which arm looks better? Probably the other one, right? There we go. Oh god, I love her so much.
So how would you recommend doing this as a follow-up coat? Should I just do really light and then almost dry brush it on there? Or
Which one are you doing, the dark or the light?
So I started with the dark, and then now I'm doing the light one as kind of a follow-up you were mentioning? Or
Yeah, I mean, I might just paint it straight on there if it were me, honestly. Oh shit, I forgot you had lead belcher. That might have been a better base coat. But it's done now, so if you're happy with it. Yeah, which one of these is lighter? You know, honestly, an effect I really like on blades is actually maybe start and coat the whole thing with mithril silver, which is slightly lighter. Slightly darker. And then what I'll do, and what you can just faintly see on Helri, is I'll take the sterling silver and I'll paint just the edge with it as like that highlight outline sort of thing, so it really accentuates the sharp edge of the blade.
Actually, what I'm kind of thinking I might do is actually do the reverse, kind of, considering I want
darker on the outside.
Yeah, do kind of a
okay.
Like, start with. I at least want to try it with this brighter metallic silver one.
Hell yeah!
See how it looks, because I don't even remember which brush I was using. This one looks good. Because I'm thinking as basically a kitchen knife. What this is, I feel like looking kind of light would make slightly more sense.
Sure. We'll give it a shot. Oh, that camera though.
I think that's pretty cool.
One sec here. Let's see.
You see the little dark highlight there?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Excellent. I love it.
Yeah. So I'd be pretty happy with it even just like this. So now it's just a matter of anything I want to do to give it little bits of extra.
Spruce it up.
Yeah. Spruce it a little because I like that blade. Still debating how I'm going to do the...
Definitely gonna need to order some more magnets. How do they work?
Magic.
Hey, and you're already done. Let's get these out of the way, and let's do some of the 3Ds because I am really excited to try some of these. You know what I need? Another beer. Some things you just need.
It's
when
true.
It's this friggin' hot.
Yeah. Although it's feeling so much better with the garage door open.
Oh, it's insane.
A little bit of a glint type thing there. I think that'll do for the blade, and the handle's not amazing, but I think it's good enough. Looks like a little ruby on there, which makes sense for magic dagger.
If you want to be super extra cool, you could go in there with very fine detail and like white tinged with a little bit of red and just give it that glint.
Look at it. That's exactly what I did.
Ah, look at you.
Yeah, not
All
sure
right.
it's not masterfully done, but that was exactly what I was thinking. Okay, so...
Oh, so
yeah,
now I
think
need... Would you... Oh, where is it? Another jig somewhere.
there was...
Here we go.
So basically, for eyes, you'd probably do something like... Is there a white, or would you do like this white-silver stuff?
What I do on eyes is I take... do you have black over there?
Just the
dark?
pavement stuff.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll paint the whole eye surface black. So let's say it's... Yeah, it's okay. Little detail like that.
Yeah.
Let me get your water. paper towel either. I'm out of paint mode. And then I will take some white. Do you have that light, super light gray? Okay, imagine this is white, and obviously the scale is going to be a lot smaller.
Right.
And on the black, I will do a dot of white here, and a dot of white here. And that gives you the outline of the eye, the whites, and the pupil going up and down.
And then you'd pick your eye color and do it as a dot in between.
For most characters, I don't do a dot. I don't do an eye color because it's too small of a detail. Helri, I actually gave that in the middle. You can see is actually red. So I went black, and then I went red, and then I did the whites on either side of the red, so that she has those red orc eyes. Do you mind washing this? Oh no, here it is.
Yeah, I will say though, oh man, I feel like I want to do something, but those eyes are so tiny because he's got this like scrunched up face too. I think I'm probably gonna just leave it because it could be cool, or it could just totally make it look weird.
That's up to you.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it. Looks good enough to me.
Mm-hmm.
I never think of his eyes as being like super piercing or anything anyway.
Right.
They're not a defining feature for him, so I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
Cool. So that is on the color. Let me go ahead and try and fix up this bow.
Yeah, anything you have to touch up. Also, the bow has a handle. That might be worth looking into whether you want to do anything with that.
Oh yeah, true. Like do a different color there for the. Like actually, maybe even. No, it's a little true. I've wrecked all these colors. Okay, so how do I want to do this?
How do you don? What do they say?
How do you want to do this?
Well, they say that, but then there's like the how do you do? How do you do this?
Chocolate brown plus khaki gives me the bow look. And I'll probably just do straight chocolate brown for the handle. Same leather type look.
Chocolate brown or chocolate rain?
Chocolate rain.
Oh, the classics. Got to meet that guy at VidCon.
Oh, cool.
Wait, was it him I met? Anyway.
That's close enough.
The weirdest thing about VidCon, and I think that the subjects of this would agree, is that there are so many people who are famous for not doing all that much. You know, like there's plenty of people who are famous for having a YouTube career.
Right.
And then there's Double Rainbow Guy.
Like, yeah, the people that is like Charlie bit my finger, and that guy shows up. It's like huge autograph line or something.
Right.
But.
And like, didn't leverage that into anything. Didn't turn that into a career. Didn't, you know, keep making videos. But just super viral off of the one thing.
Yeah. The internet is an interesting thing.
Oh, it's so weird, and I love it. Mostly.
Yeah, mostly.
It's got its downsides.
Yeah.
Which I talk about on my YouTube channel kind of a lot. Especially these days. Fuck. You into TikTok at all?
No, not at all.
I have fallen a bit down the TikTok rabbit hole. Oh, these are not centered at all. Oh, what is happening? Oh, no. I need to use my other jig. Where's my other jig? I'll finish doing these first. There's some really good creators on TikTok. I like them a lot. And then there's, some who are not, like any platform. But it's funny because I was really big into Vine back in the day. And there are a lot of Viners who have transitioned into either YouTube or now TikTok. But there are so many people on TikTok who just... That's the only thing they've ever done. And they're really good at it. And they're huge on the platform. Just massive.
Yeah, that happened. It's an interesting thing, the different celebrity types that happen in these different platforms.
Mm-hmm. I will say one of my favorite things about TikTok is also one of my favorite things about Tumblr. Tumblr is... It's a bad website, and I mean it's a bad website. It is not well designed. It is not good. It is not a, a pleasant user experience. My main attraction to Tumblr was that it was pretty. And I've talked about this before, but I know how important Reddit is. I know how many people use Reddit. I know how well programmed Reddit is.
But it's not pretty.
It's so ugly. It's so ugly.
Although you've seen it with the rework, right? So are you thinking of old Reddit or
maybe? I don't know.
3 or 4 years, there's been a new design that is more traditionally attractive of a layout. So I probably shouldn't even be telling you that because Reddit is not an addiction anybody should have. That's probably one of the biggest mistakes that I've made is 10 years ago. Checking out Reddit for the first time. And since then, it's been basically, I've probably spent more time than I should nearly every day since.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Well, I mean, the most recently that I was on Reddit was a month and a half ago. And it's still ugly to me.
Oh, yeah. Then in that case, that was with the new design. So.
Yeah. But my favorite thing about Tumblr, the reason that I am still on Tumblr and still hang out there a lot, is the nature of its social media platform has this collaborative nature that I don't see on any other social media. Because what happens is somebody posts something, and if it's funny or interesting or gives somebody else an idea, they reblog it and they add their creativity to the original post.
Oh, right.
And so let's say this happens on a very popular post, big popular post, lots of people see it, and then all these people reblog it and add their own thing to the original post. And all of those get filtered out until you have the best reblog, the best thing that somebody added to the original. And then a bunch of people start adding to that.
Right.
And they add their own communication of an idea to it. And then the cycle just repeats over and over and over again. And so every big popular post on there isn't just one person posting a viral tweet. It is a whole ton of people who have all added to this weird, sometimes completely inane, but always interesting conversation that they've all had. And I really like that. Also, posts have staying power on Tumblr, whereas you can get a viral Facebook post or a viral tweet. Yeah. And it vanishes so fast.
That's one nice thing about Reddit, actually, is because you can sort by top of all time. You can look at posts, and the best content of a subreddit will be voted up, ideally. And so you can look, okay, what was the best things that showed up this month, the best things that showed up this year, and the best things of all time.
Wow.
Or the best of today or this week. And so there are things there, the first thing I do when I find a new cool subreddit is I go and see what are the top posts of all time. And there will be a scattering of things over the last 3 years that I end up seeing. Whereas It's true. Like Twitter, I wouldn't even know how to do that. Really, there's no good support for it.
There is not at all.
So I think Reddit is very much the best counterpoint to Tumblr.
Right.
As far as like the community goes. So.
And certainly in terms of like the overall culture, I guess. You know, like there, I feel like there's like sort of a rivalry between the two sites, and you know.
Yeah. Usually it's thought that it's like Tumblr's more for women and Reddit more for men. But
yeah.
Obviously that's only true to some degree.
Oh, for sure.
So.
And you know, there's lots of what do you call it? Like I feel like friendly banter between the two.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Although there's also a lot of like.
Well, there's a lot of
anger.
unfriendly banter. Yeah, unfriendly antagonism.
Yeah.
But like, come on, life is too short, everybody.
Yeah. There's no sense getting mad about which social media platform somebody goes on. Oh yeah. So actually, if you want to show this to the stream, I think this is basically, other than adding in darker touches. Look at the bow. I basically added a couple of darker leather sections to basically the handle, as well as there's
nice.
Yeah, you can see the ends of it. I added that dark brown as well, so there's like little leather straps as the handle and at the ends there.
Look at him. I forget, is he a half-orc or orc?
Half-orc.
Nice.
So.
Oh, he's so great.
And I'm hoping, like, according to Hero Forge, he should be slightly bigger than like a normal-sized human.
He looks
not
big-ish.
By much. Yeah, he's definitely not like massive. He's like 6'4" or something.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with this.
You calling him done?
I think so. Other than like, do you think there was that washing, like dark wash thing?
If you want to, that's not a bad idea. And then I don't know if you want to go in for like buckles and stuff in metal, but that's up to you.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it'd really be fine without. I don't want to overcomplicate it because I really like this.
Totally. I'm stretching my Nuln oil to its limits here, but let's see if I can get one more good miniature wash out of it. Oh yeah, that should be enough. Okay.
I think I'll do a miniature wash, but not do all the buckles and things.
So what you want to do, get a good sized brush. Oh, this has been through some glue or something. Go with this guy. Wet it just a little bit. And then you literally just take this and you just brush it straight onto the leather. And you'll see it's very liquidy and it's gonna sink right in there, and it's just gonna be
Cool. Oh wow.
And again, it's gonna look darker than it will when it dries. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So this will make it a little darker, but not like as much as it's looking like initially.
Right. And it'll make the recesses, kind of about as dark as they look right now, but the top is going to be much less significantly affected.
Cool.
Could you hand me the paper towel?
Sure.
Thank you much.
And this has its own, I guess, brownish tint to it, so I probably don't want to be using this to darken anything other than the leather? Or...
yeah, I mean, that depends on the effect you're going for. Like, I used it on Helri's skin just because it kind of has... It gave it a more fleshy tone.
Right.
But for you, if you don't want something to have the brown on it, then yeah, don't do that.
Cool. Sounds good. I'm really happy with how this has turned out, though. I'm like...
I freaking love this. I love the whole process of painting minis, creating minis. It's all so much fun.
Yeah, and now, like, everyone's got these 3D printers they've got available. It's like,
right?
Might as well do more of this. And I imagine there's like plenty of sites out there with references for like first painting set and
Yep.
all the things I should start with. So I might have to do some research, acquire some of my own.
Yeah, I mean, again, if you want to just go with the best, Citadel has just a starter painting kit, and then, you know, they're really good at telling you which brushes you should get, and then when you're ready to get like some inks and washes, they're all just right there, and they have a whole set of those, and then you can be like, you know what color I don't really have and that I find myself wanting often? Purple. And then you just go on their website and you're like, yeah, I'll take some of this purple and that purple.
I might just do that then. I figure might as well, considering I don't really want to accumulate tons of this stuff.
Right.
I'd like to have just good, basic, high quality set.
Exactly. And honestly, once you have the basics, like, you can, you know, it's paint. You can mix any color you want.
Yeah.
It's always nice to have more so that you don't have to spend, like, that's when pros and people who do this all the time, when they get more paint, it's really all they're doing is saving themselves mixing time.
Yeah.
You know? More, and 2 nails. Nail. Nail. I can sense you. Are you familiar with the Dragon Ball Z abridged?
Oddly, me and Jesse were chatting about that earlier. I have not watched it myself, but
Oh man, it's really good. Were you into Dragon Ball Z at all?
a little bit. I've always been more of a One Piece guy.
Okay.
Have you watched any One Piece?
No, sorry, my wall's just kind of stuck weirdly. No, you know, like, weirdly, and this is like this is a strike against me in terms of nerd cred. I have not gotten to experience much good actual anime, and some people's favorite series I actually haven't connected with very strongly. The biggest one being, I've never been able to get into Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what it is about it exactly. I know one thing that consistently throws me out is I don't like when characters in anime in general freak out and go all chibi animation.
Yeah.
And that show does that a lot. And I'm like, it kind of kicks me out of the experience every single time.
Right.
And I don't know what to do about that because, like, you know, I've heard how good that story is and how much people love it and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. You know.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
I want to share in the experience.
You may not, like, One Piece doesn't exactly do the chibi style animation at least, but they do have the big, like, freak out type things where suddenly everyone's head grows real big and, like, the big sharp teeth and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that may be a problem there as well.
Yeah, I really love slightly more, I don't know, serious anime. Like, I've watched well, at least films. I've watched, like, Appleseed is actually one of my favorite movies of all time, just period. I've watched it a lot. I've watched Akira a bunch of times. Ghost in the Shell, Princess Mononoke. I mean, you know, most Ghibli stuff.
I'd hope, yeah.
And that's just way more up my alley. I remember liking Lodoss War a lot, but I also don't, like, that was when I was a teenager, so.
Man, I'm really tempted to apply this stuff to that turkey leg. I'm debating what it's going to do to it, though.
I'll tell you one thing it's going to do. It's going to make it kind of, like, shiny, look like it's cooked and, like, come out of the oven and stuff.
That's my thought. I think it'll make it look like a proper turkey leg, like cooked turkey leg, instead of whatever this is. Yeah, okay.
Gives it that nice glazed look. Honey baked turkey.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? I don't know.
Because
We're
I'm
gonna try.
loving the rest of this. This is looking amazing. I even put it on like the leather on the bow, and now that I've done that for most of the leather, but not the brown of the wood on the bow is standing out as like a totally different texture. Even.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing that washes and oils will do for you generally is they give it a shiny look, which again is really good for certain things, you know? Yeah. That's where half of Helri's armor shine comes from. Right. So I was incorrect before. I am not going to have enough magnets.
Oh no.
I'll have enough for tonight, but I definitely need to order another couple packs.
Right.
But I have a feeling that this is going to work out real well. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, what did I do for the... I did one nail and one... Okay, good. Whew. Okay, that's good.
Oh yeah, so you were mentioning dry brushing is good for hair?
Yeah.
So if I were to dry brush on like pure black maybe to give it some good...
You'd only want to dry brush on a lighter color.
Yeah, okay. Huh.
It would definitely help his head stand out a little bit, and that's always a good thing. You want people focused on a character's face. So
because that's my concern, is it does feel like there's something missing with pretty much just the head. I'm really happy with almost all the rest of it.
Yeah.
There's just some couple of small elements missing. Although, look at this freaking turkey leg now. That was a perfect change. This is looking so good.
He's so amazing. Give it a shot. Give it a whirl.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I'll do. Okay, so here would be a good dry brush. In fact, maybe I'll just take the same pavement stuff. Just dry brush it on to give more.
If I was you, I'd go with that.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, is that metal?
That's metal. Yeah.
Okay, I'd go for that shade.
Maybe I can mix a bit of this with this, and just
with something that small, you want to go bright and light because you don't want to.
Yeah.
What you want to start contrast again, like look at the difference between the darker parts of Helri's hair and the higher parts, right?
Yeah, there's a pretty big difference there.
And that is so eye-catching that it's going to pull somebody's eye when they're looking at it from the table. Like you look at that and looking at it from that perspective of a player at the table, the first thing you're seeing is the head. And that's what you really want to have happening. So a bright gray is not going to make the hair look gray. It's going to make it look like prominently visible black.
So maybe I'll just try the silver gray here.
Yeah.
See what it does, and if it's bad, I can dry brush on some black instead or something.
Absolutely. You can always go back.
Yeah. Let's make sure to get as much of this off as possible, because I do not want to paint this carefully done head gray.
Right. Hey, gorgeous.
Are you on stream?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not supposed to interrupt you.
No, you're not. But here you are.
You told me to come in.
No, I was saying we're...
Oh, you're wrapping up. Okay.
Yeah, we will be soon.
I love you.
Not sure.
Oh yeah, too much.
Yeah.
Paint that black again, and then we will go in a bit more.
Yeah, let's first hold the proper brush here.
We'll show stream what happened.
Yeah.
So we went a little too much on the hair, and now it looks like white hair.
Yeah.
So we'll go back in on that
I'm
in a sec.
Probably just I'll need to mix in some dark.
I'll get it black, and I'll go over it with you.
Cool. All that stuff.
Autumn Orange's Ford albums are they're so like ominous.
Yeah.
And just like, oh, so amazing.
Yeah, I love it. Okay. That's black. Maybe let it dry a little to line up with everything else, but...
Yeah, we'll give it a minute. And then we get some nails in here. So, you know, the worst thing about magnetizing tiles is that I use liquid nails, and that shit holds them. Like, these magnets, these nails, they're never coming out. But liquid nails takes a while to set, and so when you do it, you're so tempted. Like, that piece and those pieces, they're sitting there, and I just want to start testing them and seeing how it all looks and everything like that.
It's not set yet. So
it'll pull your magnets straight out.
Actually, maybe while I'm letting this dry, I might do just a ring of what color? I think maybe just a ring of white around it, or actually probably green. That would just be bright green. Would be very fitting for an orc thief.
Could work. Red would integrate with the rest of him really well.
True.
It gives you a especially with the way he's standing, where he's got the red here and he's got red visible over the shoulder and a red pouch, right?
Yep, 2 red pouches. Yep.
It kind of does a triangulation thing down, and you always like angles like that are always a good thing to go for.
Right. So your approach is basically press it down firm on something like this,
and then just sort of literally drag your brush around the edge.
Cool. Sounds good.
This is my favorite, by the way, Stream. This is my favorite detail about one piece of wall that I made. It was totally unintentional, but it's got this little hole in the bottom of the wall, and like, if this is being used for like a jail cell or something like that, like I love the ability to use that and be like, notice a small hole at the bottom of the wall, and you talk to the prisoner next door, and you know, stuff like that. This is my favorite thing about DIY terrain, is it always ends up with these little details that you don't get in mass-produced stuff. So you want to know a total quandary I've been having recently?
Sure.
I say this with all the love in my heart, but I don't ever want to DM 8 players again. It's so many. It's so many. And I want to DM just like a campaign with just like 4.
Yeah.
Maybe a 5th guest player every once in a while, but just 4 people. Just 4 people. But I love every single one of my players so much that like I'm not gonna kick anybody out.
Yeah.
And so then you run into the problem of, all right, well then I guess what that means is that I run 2 campaigns with 2 separate groups. But that means double the work as a DM, except it's even more than that, because if you only have 4 people in your campaign, everything goes a lot faster. Combat goes faster, storytelling and exploration and everything goes way faster.
So you've got 2 campaigns progressing at double speed.
Right.
Oh, man.
But, like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
There is nobody that I don't want to keep playing with, but 8 people is so much.
Yeah. I wonder if there's a way you could do, like, alternate, somehow have it be the same world and same kind of plot points, and they're approaching it from like a different angle. So it's like, because there's nothing that says there has to be only one adventuring group out in the world.
That's true.
So,
and then you have the opportunity for crossover events.
Yeah, where then you do bring in 8 people all at once and have interesting shenanigans occur.
Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Oh, damn, that's really... Oh, man. And then when crossover events happen, you can shuffle the teams.
Oh, yeah, true. You could actually make it so that, like...
These two
people's
people...
schedules are changing. You just have a crossover episode and then move them around.
Forget people's schedules. Just be like, no, you four get banished into another... You know, you get teleported somewhere else. And, like, you two know each other from that group, and you two know each other from that group, but now it's a new group. And now we got another new group. Oh, my God, I love this idea so much. I don't need this on my plate right now. But also, yes. This is so good.
Glad I could help your quandary.
Oh my God. See, and this is the thing. This is what more dungeon masters need. People to talk to. Just it's so hard. It's so hard when you don't have somebody to talk to about this stuff.
Yeah, apparently Jesse's been bumming now that I'm part of the Iron Belly campaign, because it used to be that we would just chat every 2 weeks and he'd fill me in on all the juicy details.
He told me about that.
It's like he doesn't have anyone to vent to anymore, or to like tell his all these conniving plans.
And then I'm going to have the Aboleth show up again. Except this time, it doesn't want to kill people. Peldon's not going to know what the fuck to do with that one.
Could be cleaner, but I would say this show, like, this is pretty darn visible.
Okay. Do you want to go all the way up the side? So, like,
maybe that is the...
That's how I sort of did it on her.
Yeah, I'm just kind of... And I suppose I can just paint it black on top if anything spills over. So I'm probably going to want to do some black paint on top anyway, because I did brown.
For the boots and stuff. Yeah, you're always going to have some spill onto the base.
I feel like I should do this...
So, question, was there a reason behind not going with a textured base? Or like a, you know, like a...
I kind of was just like paralysis of choice. I had no idea what I would want to go with.
Makes sense.
Like, I figure if I do this, I can still paint other texturing onto it if I want to.
Sure.
Whereas if I pick one of those, I can't exactly decide later that it's going to be wood planks instead. If I went with like stone brick or something.
Right.
So
you know, for the record, if you want to, we could do flocking on the base. Are you familiar with?
No idea what that is.
Let me go grab a flocked model, and I can show it to the stream as well.
Although I am also pretty okay with this being a relatively simple base.
Okay.
But
a lot of people honestly go for the flat base just because then it doesn't look out of place in any environment you place it in.
Exactly.
If he's on a stone floor, it works. If he's on a grass, it works. For me, I like the miniature sort of diorama nature that it gives a miniature.
Yeah.
So let me grab probably my favorite base. Here we go. Oh, he's still so dusty from all the woodwork I was doing in here.
I'm hoping this is flamingo red, and that if I do... Oh my god, that is so cool.
So, all you do on that is you paint white glue all over the base, and then you dip it in playground sand, which I've got a whole bin of, and then that dries, and then you paint the sand brown, and then you dry brush it whatever color, or you can make it green, and then it looks like grass and whatnot.
Right.
This is my carrion crawler, which I've always been so proud of. There he is. He's a bitey, tentacly boy. And that base, I just love that base so much.
It is all about that base.
Fuck you.
I had to. I'm sorry.
Oh, boy. But yeah. So that is always an option.
Yeah, I think I'm actually pretty okay, especially for this guy, given that he's not... Well, I don't know. I feel pretty okay with just a basic flat base.
Sounds good. Yeah, and that's a totally viable option. So we'll get that red on there, and then I believe we are done for the evening.
Yeah, I was gonna, like... I think you were gonna look into doing the highlight thing on the hair.
Oh, yeah. Right, we'll do that real fast.
In fact, yeah, probably.
Can you pass me the dry brush?
Oh yeah, this one would work, maybe. Or
Where's the littler one?
oh, this guy. I think.
There we go. That's the one.
It's taking me longer than it should just to go around this thing. And so you added a veneer to yours. Is that like a necessary step generally, or is that just something
I strongly recommend it. Let me show you an example of what can happen to a mini if you don't varnish it. So, see how the paint is coming off the base?
Yeah.
And then also on the back of the head and sort of the back of the the back. So, varnish is literally just it protects the paint.
Right.
And now some people are really snazzy with it. There's two types of varnish. There's glossy varnish, which is usually much stronger and better protection. And then there's matte varnish, which looks more realistic because you don't generally want the whole model to be shiny.
Right.
What some people do, and it's really snazzy, is they spray paint the whole model with glossy varnish, better protection.
Right.
Then they spray paint the whole model with matte varnish, and so it looks real. Like the gloss goes away.
Right.
And then as you keep playing with the miniature, eventually you notice that whatever part you grab most often starts to get glossy, and then you just matte varnish it again.
Huh. That's clever.
I'm not that snazzy.
I think I'm probably gonna not do a varnish on this guy, at least yet, because I have kind of feel like I may revisit this at some point.
I mean, you can paint again over varnish. There's no reason not to.
Okay.
Yeah, and I recommend it because, like you can start to chip if it falls, if somebody places it prone on the table even once.
Right. Okay.
Like it won't always, but like, and you can even just do we can do like a light coat.
Right.
But let me see for the hair here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so stoked about this dude.
Ooh, I touched the red. All right. So what we'll do here, we're going to go for a very light dry brush. So we'll get the paint out. And then we'll get it on the brush. And then we will really try to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And you can always test on your skin. And if you can see it, then it's probably too much. And then the annoying thing about a dry brush like this is that it takes a frustratingly long time because you're really just going to go like this a bunch. And the highlights are going to come super slowly. What is this particle that keeps showing up? So gently. So we don't want to get it on the face.
Yeah.
And we don't want to get it on the armor. And then what we'll do for a little extra snaz is we'll grab our very fine detail brush. I think this one is my favorite. Yeah, hello old friend. And then could you pass me one of the thank you. So You can always make it thinner and finer with a little bit of water. Just go with the tip. Just the tip. That joke's for you, Bridge. Oh. Brush is behaving a little oddly. No, that's fine. And then we'll kind of, it's not really a dry brush, but we'll wipe off a lot of the paint so that it's very light. And we'll do very slight, very fine highlights. Now this brush is behaving weirdly. Is this my fave? Let me try this one. No, it's alright.
This one looks even finer.
Oh, there you are. Why were you hiding from me? No, you're not the one. Never mind.
This one?
This guy maybe? Let's give this a shot. But we'll give very fine highlights at the edge of the hair chunks that outline the face right there.
Makes sense.
Very, and we're mostly just sort of suggesting.
Yeah.
It's not quite a dry brush, but it's the same idea. And again, we're pulling all the focus towards the face.
Yep. Makes sense.
Especially since he's got this wonderful eating a turkey leg thing going on that we just love.
It's always interesting to see how it changes as it dries.
Oh yeah.
Like,
it's huge. And then we'll give him a slight outline around the mouth. Night comes, and the moths are like, holy shit! Lights!
there's light.
I see it! I see it! I'm going towards the light!
I can stop chasing the sun now! Yay!
It's too much.
These feelings envelop you like a warm bath. Your body floating atop a heated ocean of gentle waves. Peace finds your mind, familiar smells of salt and brine.
And then, do you still have some of the green highlight for his skin? Because his nose did get a little...
I do not. That was in the original dry palette.
Okay,
so
that's
I didn't
fine.
end up remaking any of that.
Not too hard to throw together.
Yeah, just a little bit of... Especially for just a tiny touch.
Exactly. And we'll just do a little bit of you into like... Mostly gray.
Yeah, that looks about right.
And a little bit for just a highlight because we are doing the nose.
Debating whether or not I should send a picture of this guy to the Discord.
Oh, you totally should.
Well, I'm just wondering if it should be just sort of a surprise.
Oh, to the Sunday group?
Sunday, yeah.
I mean, good point. If they're not watching the stream, guys.
At this point, there hasn't been a message, I don't think, in about, 2 hours.
It's been a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, and then we'll go with the black wash, which is sort of doing the same thing that the brown was doing before, but mostly now we're using it to tone down those highlights.
Right.
And this one, we're going to be careful. That's going to do wonders for the recesses.
Ooh, nice.
They say in the hair and makeup industry, especially when it comes to film, that like of all the aspects of that side of life, hair is most important, because no matter what's going on your face, the hair is the frame, and that is certainly very true when it comes to miniatures as well. So once that dries out, that's gonna should be kind of what you're looking for.
Holy crap. Thank you so much. That is looking amazing.
Totes. And then, do you want to touch up the red still, or are we good on that?
I think I've got enough red on there. I might... Oh, actually, there's just a touch more.
On the base?
Yeah, well...
Or is the base looking good?
I think the base is fine. It's
okay.
A little bit messy, but that's okay. If anything... Actually, and I'm okay with these splotches of brown, too. I really don't mind the messy... Something to show the work.
He's a messy boy.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? That is a very good point. He would totally be spilling some food and other stuff around him, so... Yep, I think I'll call it good there, so...
Hell yeah. All right, well, let's get off stream and get him a coat of varnish.
Sounds
hey,
good.
everyone. We did another Crafternoon.
Yeah. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks, but it was nice. Let me get the music stopped here. Speaking of which, again, if you haven't already gone and listened to Autumn Orange, they're a fantastic musician. Their music's on YouTube. It's on Spotify. It's everywhere. And they offer it for free for YouTubers and streamers. So, like, go listen somewhere that's going to feed them some money. You know, like, every time we're playing them, it's off of YouTube and they're getting ad revenue from it and everything like that. So, like, go support them. They're fantastic. Yeah, we'll be back next week. Oh, you know who's going to be here next week?
Yeah.
It's the man. It's the Dungeon Master.
The DM himself.
God, what is he going to paint?
I think he's going to be painting his character for your game.
Oh, Salamir.
Yeah,
that
he's
makes
gonna be
sense.
painting Salamir.
That's
so.
good. Yeah, I was expecting something like big, like I was going to get to like break a secret or something like that. But that's fine too. That's okay. Come paint Salamir. I actually do like Salamir a lot. Anyway, y'all, thank you for being here with us. Thank you for putting up with our numerous complaints about the heat. It really is ridiculous.
It is. Yeah,
God, I can't wait until summer is done.
I know. I don't get why people always are like begging for summer to start. It's never the fun season.
Okay, so quick side note. I grew up in Los Angeles.
Oh.
And woof.
Yeah.
So we come up, you know, Megan wanted to move up here, and I'd never been here, so we came up to like check the place out, and we came up in winter, and it snowed when we got here. And our friends were like, it's not normally like this. It's normally, you should really have come in summer, because then you'd get to see, and I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever. I want it to snow every day while I live here. What are you talking about? And now people are like, oh, Oregon's great in the summer. It's great in the summer. And I'm like, no, I moved away from constant summer. I want no summer for a long time. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But yeah, soon it will be over. Hey, dude, thanks for coming over and hanging out.
Yeah, for sure. This was a lot of fun. Thanks for all the tips on miniature painting. And actually, should we show one more time the finished result?
Oh, yeah, totally. We didn't even do that. All right, let me get in for the close-up here. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Ba-ba-ba-ba. There's the messy boy. Oh, dude, you really nailed his face.
Yeah, I'm really stoked about that.
It's real good. And those tusks
could have helped, but that was just too much of a risk, and I think it looks pretty darn good without.
And it makes it look like his eyebrows are even bigger. You know, like they're sort of overshadowing them, and it's just like, I love him.
It's true. Yeah.
I love him so much. I can't wait to see people's reactions on Sunday.
I know.
Oh
my God. It's going to be so great.
All right, dude. There you go. Thanks, everyone, for coming and hanging out. We will see you next week with Jesse. I will keep working on my terrain, and he will be painting Salamir, and you'll get to find out about the weirdest friggin' elf. Boy, he's just the weirdest elf. But that's all what's happening next week. Thanks so much for watching. Catch you soon. Bye.